We are back for another episode of Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos. And here on Good Earners, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. Of course, y'all know me, it's Mo, but I got my two capo brothers here, Spike, Lou, Rich. How you fellas doing?
What's going on?
Slow motion, my brother. We here, man. I'm here for y'all. I just want everybody to know I showed up for y'all, brothers, and I showed up for the listeners. That's why I'm here tonight.
Yeah.
I got other things to be doing, but I showed up for y'all, not this episode.
Man, you know what I'm here for.
Ah, shit, man.
Yeah, but I think I understand what we mean by that. But again, we're back for another episode. A tough episode. Again, y'all know how we feel about dream sequences, so y'all get some of that through this. Before we echo a little bit more of that sentiment, we do have our emails, of course. Again, I'll keep saying this throughout the season, not all the way through, but for a few episodes just to clue y'all in. We record on a different day. So if y'all responded to a previous episode and it doesn't get read, it's because we record on a different day. So it'll get read the following episode. Okay, so a YouTube comment from our guy Robert the Hernandez from season 5, episode 11, test dream. Crazy, we're talking about a dream episode. The Lee Harvey Oswald conversation is killing me. Whenever you hear, let me just extend this out. Whenever you hear someone referred to by the first, middle, and last name, you can kind of guess they're a famous assassin. Now I'm wondering if Mo's ever heard of John Wilkes Booth or James Earl Ray. Ha ha. I'm pretty sure he hasn't heard of Mark David Chapman.
Have you heard any of those?
I have heard of John Wilkes Booth.
Lincoln's
Who
assassin.
don't tell him.
Oh, my fault.
I just heard
all
the name.
good.
That's all I got is the name. Like,
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know this. Do we need to get into specifics?
I mean, what else we got to talk about this episode?
This has been a great episode. To just stop reading in the middle of the email.
You know James Earl Ray.
Just,
You know James
we ought to
Earl
just
Ray?
cut it off in the middle.
Just all
Don't answer. I don't even want to ask you about
James
James Earl Ray
Earl
because
Ray.
if you don't know it, we gotta. Y'all don't.
I don't.
MLK.
Yeah, that's Martin Luther King.
James Earl Ray. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all know the Mark David Chapman?
No, I don't know. Let me see.
That must be recent. That ain't dude try to shoot Trump, is
it? Which one?
Which one of my so-called?
John Lennon. Yeah, he popped John Lennon outside.
Oh, okay.
That was
apartment.
That's one of the craziest, scariest things,
man.
bro.
That's on. He was on his Selena shit. I forget the woman that shot Selena. Obviously, rest in peace to them because that's a wild way to go. Just random fans, wild fans, and the whole nine, man. That's why I always tell people, man, the last thing I ever want to be in life is famous.
Facts.
Man, what? People know you and you don't know them.
Hov said it best, man. Fuck being famous. I came to get the butter.
Yeah. Facts. Thank you, Rob, for that comment. On another email here is from a comment on YouTube from our wise guy David, wise guy back at the Bing episode. It's from Vito Corleone 6023.
That's wild. Oh, Vito Corleone. I don't know. I thought about Vito Spatafore. All right, never mind.
I was about to tell him, be great, King.
Nah, Vito Corleone. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Vito.
All right,
the Don.
The Don. He says, don't know how you lads haven't got more views. Your takes are bang on about the show. The Sopranos, in my opinion, is the greatest show of all time. So many layers and small details every time you watch it back. You'll find something new you didn't see before, but yous are on it. Been watching yous for a while. Keep up the podcast, brothers. Much love from Liverpool, UK.
Oh shit! Shout out to Vito, man.
Hey, Vito,
across the pond, man.
That's our bruv.
Across the pond,
our bruv. Man, that's dope. Thank you, man. I'm glad that again we're touching people with our podcast across the world. Yes,
touching people and Vito in the same sentence is crazy.
Yeah, I did say Vito. That's why
that means a lot. I had
to get my Spike Blue on. Be good with the words. I had to find a way to get out of there.
Yeah, man. Nah, Vito, that means a lot, man. Appreciate you. I don't know how you found us, but I always appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know how you found us, man. I'd be interested in that. Like, is it just algorithm stuff, or I'm curious about that. But I'm glad. I think we do have some good takes and some interesting. And if nothing else, at least it's a provocative. It gets the people going. So,
hey man, listen. There's not a better Sopranos podcast. I will say that there is not a better Sopranos podcast than this.
There's somebody about to echo that.
I'm not saying that just because I felt that way before I was on the show. You know what I mean? Like, so this ain't even oh, I'm part of this promotion type thing. That's just truth.
I literally was. This show to me is so exceptional. I'm laughing at the same moments I participated in when we record. When I listen back at it, I'm laughing again at the same thing. I'm like, bro, how does that happen?
I was crying tears. I had to go back and listen to the email. I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah, that was priceless. Yeah, someone's gonna remix this soon. Someone's gonna remix this soon. We're gonna see some black people get into their Sopranos bag and really kind of do this like this, but they ain't got the sauce.
Nah.
Shout out to them. I'm gonna support it, but they ain't got
Yeah, it ain't the same though. It's OG over here. Like this is one of one. But yeah, this is, just to be clear, this is the best Sopranos podcast. Shouts out to Rich.
Excluding nobody.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm the best at what I do.
List.
I'm just saying what happens it's me against whoever want to lose. Look,
there's gonna be some tears today made in America dry when they realize ain't no more episodes, man.
Hey, listen.
Let me stop, man. I'm talking my shit, man.
Hey, it's time. It's time. We here. What Spike? What was the bars you just dropped? I rapped over top of yours. So what did you say?
I'm gonna be number one on everybody's list. We'll see. Went into what y'all was saying. I'm gonna be number one on everybody's list. We'll see what happens when I no longer exist. Oh, fuck this. Drop the mic.
Now I'm gonna get my bars off. I'm not saying I'm the best at what I do. I'm just saying it's me against whoever want to lose.
Who said that?
You know who said that.
You know
who said that. think about who's reciting it, right? And then think about who would have said that.
Hey, that's a good lie. Come on,
he be so far from my mind. That artist be so far from my mind. I never really catch. I don't even be catching it sometimes from your mind.
Yeah, okay.
You'll do a little pause. Only way I know you do your little pause thing and wait on me Rich to respond.
I just wait for y'all to get annoyed. I'm just trying to annoy y'all because Shouts out to you. Thank you for that, bruv. We got an Instagram message from our guy Chris Falone, our Italian East Coast connection. Oh, it's the guy.
Chris.
This fucking guy.
He says,
there he is.
There, yeah. Turned Up Mo is a wild dude. LOL. Great entertainment though, for sure. I don't think I was disappointed as you were, man. I think your expectation let you down. But he says the doc was exactly what I thought it was going to be. David Chase hasn't said anything important in 15 years. I never expected him to start now. Guy reminds me of Derek Jeter. He can talk for an hour and say nothing.
That's a good point and a great comparison.
I'm not familiar with the Derek Jeter reference.
Oh, Derek Jeter's a legend at not saying anything. Like interviews, post-game interviews, he's not giving you anything. All
Derek
cliche.
Derek Jeter famously, if you go into Derek Jeter crib, even on some random after the game shit, NDA, leave your cell phone at the door. Like, he's notorious for that. Shout out to Derek Jeter, man. Today we're recording on September 25th, man. It's a 10-year anniversary. It's a 10-year anniversary of his last game. Hit a walk-off single to win the game against the Orioles, man. So shout out to Derek Jeter.
Man, boy, this guy's good. This memory, man. This the brain is a terrible thing.
I ain't gonna lie. On the Bengals podcast, I was popping my shit because I was doing stuff off memory, and I had to let people know, like, this ain't no research. This is off memory. This is just from paying attention and watching the game. I told you I pay attention to everything.
Man, you getting your real J on for real, like just off the dome,
something like that.
Punch back again. All right, let's do it. All right, shouts out to Chris Falone, man. We got another comment on our season 4, episode 13, Whitecaps. Jeffrey Kovich, if I'm saying that correct, 9875. Really enjoying your podcast. Just found it the other day. I've listened to about 4 or 5 so far. I really enjoyed talking Sopranos. but after going through it once, I never revisited it. I've already found myself watching an episode of yours. I've already watched and enjoying it even more the second time. I was amazed when mentioned you guys have never met. I would have thought you guys were lifelong friends. Thanks for the great podcast. Jeffrey Kovich.
Two of the best compliments you can get in podcasts. You and your partners got great chemistry, and I go back and listen to episodes. Those are two of the highest compliments you can get in this space. So thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We literally, before we started recording, was trying to lock in the date.
We're going to change that.
We getting it.
Yeah. Early 2025.
We getting it done soon, man.
We might document it or something.
We got to. We just have to. We got to hit this on all our platforms.
I'll let you be in control of that.
I guess I'm the most qualified, and I don't like to be on camera. But now we appreciate that, and the fact that we are a long formatted. I think if we do this long enough, I'm not saying we're gonna be on the JBP level, but the fact that I wonder what our retention is, because we're doing 2.5, almost 3-hour episodes, and the fact that Jeffrey says, "Yo, I go back and watch again," that is like, wow,
Well, I will say this, and in all honesty, and I'm taking us out of this. I got to tip my hat to the product, right? That's a big part of why we're able to do this. Like absolutely, man. If we were, I don't even know what. If we were doing a 3-hour podcast on Power, like, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to. What are you talking about for 3 hours per episode on Power? Like, what are we doing?
You get a good hour max.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think
you're joking or something.
As much as I will go toe to toe with anyone as far as chemistry and just overall entertaining, knowledgeable dialogue about a show, I do want to tip my hat to David Chase and The Sopranos, because it's that good of a show. Absolutely. It's that good of a show. They give us the material to where we never have to scramble. We never have to come up with topics. Like, this is it. It's all right here. We just use our life experiences to put our spin on it.
Yeah. You're right. Yep. Shouts out to David Chase and all those involved in the creation of The Sopranos. You're absolutely right. If without this, you don't get a show like this, and we don't get this type of connection to the listener. So absolutely, you are absolutely right. Another one from our guy Jeffrey Kovich, season 5, episode 10, Cold Cuts. He says, "Thanks a lot, fellas. I enjoy your podcast as much as I enjoy The Sopranos. Thanks again."
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, Jeff.
Yeah, man. Big dog. We got another message from our guy Chris Falone. He said, "Just started members only. I love the convo about Tony getting the paper. This might be corny, but what do you think about Tony getting the paper in a snowstorm as a callback to the Robert Frost poem that Meadow and AJ read? In Prosha Lavushka."
I don't think I get the reference.
So remember when he was doing, remember Livia got lost, and we didn't know if she lost her memory or not. She was headed to the house, but it was just Meadow and AJ. And remember she was helping her with the project, and he was like, "What does white represent?" And he's like, "I don't know, snow this, and it also represents death." Okay. You know, so that whole.
I remember that conversation, but what did that have to do with Tony getting the paper?
Remember we were talking about last week?
Getting, you know what? I was being a little niggerish. I thought you were talking about money. I ain't even realize.
Oh, this guy.
I'm thinking of like a rap video. It's like Tony getting the paper, because it sounds like that's funny.
This guy acting like a
fucking mooly.
Acting like your boy and his sister. What did you say to my sister?
Oh, okay, yeah, good point.
Yeah, now that I think that would have been dope, Chris.
That would have been good.
That would have been a dope, like grabbing the paper out the snow. I think I like that. And we got one more, and we'll get started here to another comment for our review of last episode, season 6, episode 1, members only, from Joe Nelson T5U. "I was getting ready to give you guys the good earner chain for coming back strong." And he got the white flexing arm. I've never seen that before.
The white flexing arm.
The white flexing arm. I've never seen.
I got a question for y'all after we do this. Okay, go ahead, Mo.
He says I was gonna give y'all that because y'all came back strong, but then Mo and Rich give good earner change to Vito and Ray Curto. Rick should change his name to Larry Curly, so him and Mo could be the Stooges.
Hey man,
hold on. Let me finish this. As always, Spike had a clear head and was an angel. Frankly, I'm depressed and ashamed.
Good comment. Great.
But you listen, all right, listen. All right, I ain't even mad at it. I ain't mad
at you, bro. That's good.
But y'all heard my reasoning. Like to be in the mob and be a stone cold rat, like to be proud to be. Ray was proud to be a rat, to have your reputation still intact. Nobody knows. They actually giving you compliments and flowers at your service. Like, come on, you got to earn one for that. But I understand it. It was a little bit cheap, so I'll take that. I'll wear that.
Yeah, and hey, come on, keep it a bean. When is losing weight not a dub? Come on, dog. Come on.
When you Vito.
All right.
I'm about to say something from that episode.
His stock just went up. You know what I mean?
He got all right. Real quick. Have y'all? What would y'all do? What would y'all do if a white person sent you black emojis?
The black emojis.
Like if they texting you, white person texting you, he get the strong shit, but it's black. What's y'all reaction gonna be? What's your reaction gonna be?
I'm just gonna hit him back with the white emoji. That's probably it. I'll probably just hit him with the white emoji.
Somebody,
that is hilarious, bro.
That's funny as hell. I'm wondering how long I could. Yeah, and I'm wondering how long I could ignore it, because me and you talked about this, Rich. We had a similar personality. If somebody did it, I probably would just ignore it. But if it was a continuous thing, I'd be like, "Bro, why is this?" I would ask them flat out, like,
"What you on,
black, bro?"
Yeah, what you on? What you on, bro?
That's funny. Like if Mo sent me the white emoji, I would like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
I do got an Instagram page. I use white emojis, but it's not white. It's the yellow emoji.
Nah, I'm talking about straight up black, man. This happened from real life. Well, I'm not gonna get into the story, but this happened. This is a real life scenario, and I was, when you talk about somebody laughing their ass off, I was laughing. I was laughing like the Mo email when this woman was telling me this story about her coworker sending her black emojis and the reason why, and I'm like, that's just diabolical. Like the fact that I never, as petty as I am, and I never even thought about that ever in my life. Like, let me just change the color of my emoji to switch whoever I'm talking to. That's just hilarious to me for some reason.
But
I'm always just curious what y'all do. Yeah, man.
Have a good day, black ass.
And she told him she didn't like it. This nigga gave like the black fist up and shit. Like, he kept doing it. That's what makes this shit even funny. Nah, that shit hilarious.
Doubling
man.
Down is crazy. Oh man. Yo, y'all need an interview.
Yeah,
I need an interview. I need an Instagram short on one of y'all pages, man. Come on. But nonetheless, those are our emails, y'all. Y'all gonna have to bear with us. This is one of those episodes, so we're really trying to make sure the envelope is right this week, man. Spike Lou, what episode are we reviewing this week, man?
Mo, this is season 6, episode 2, and the title of this episode is Join the Club. We're dealing with the aftermath of Junior shooting Tony in the stomach. What else can I say? The family's at the hospital. Tony goes through these dream sequences as to where he is someone else in a different light while he's in a coma. AJ is an asshole as usual, and Uncle Junior doesn't remember anything about the shooting. This is season 6, episode 2, entitled Join the Club.
Something to be said is David Chase, I believe he wrote this episode, and he's known to write these dream episodes. I think he did Test Dream as well as Funhouse.
The worst episode.
Yeah, Funhouse ain't not so shabby because that's when Big P was killed. So that's about half the episode. But anyways, whatever happened there. But so we yes.
Real quick, just to add on to that, apparently somebody said it, and I'll look it up as we do the episode so I can give the person credit. I think it was one of the producers or writers, but they alluded to the fact that they thought this was about one of the longtime directors of Sopranos. Like, actually, he had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying that this was David Chase's way of kind of working through his own feelings about how he felt about one of his dear friends going through this.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think I might have heard that before somewhere.
It was an interview. It was in an interview. I'll look it up who said it as we move along. So I can give them credit. But I did want to point that out.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I mean it's a creative outlet to express grief, and I can appreciate that.
It was I'm sorry, I just looked at Matthew Weiner.
Okay.
He was on Talking Sopranos with Michael
Imperioli
and Steve Ripper. Yep, that's where it was.
Mm.
John T. Patterson is the longtime and frequent Sopranos director, of which he said that he thought that he was writing this to kind of make his own, to process his own feelings. Man, grief is different for everyone. Y'all know that.
Yeah. Boys say I grieve different. Tony's in the bed. That's y'all boy. I'm just saying.
I love how me and Spike just look at each other like neither one of us gonna say it. We're not even gonna address this. Keep going.
Right.
That's exactly how we respond to the white emoji. It's like, bro, I'm not even I'm pretending that didn't happen.
Facts.
But yeah, Tony's in the bed of a hotel. Well, it opens up Tony's in the bed of a hotel. He looks outside, sees the sky, goes downstairs, have a drink. He's looking at, we find out he's in Costa Mesa based on the TV.
Real quick before you skip over it, just about that first scene.
Yeah.
I remember watching this in real time when this came out.
Okay. I
was furious that it started right here.
Because you knew it wasn't real.
I didn't know what was real. Eventually, I did know it was real, but like when he got down to the bar and shit, he was like, okay, this is a dream. Mm-hmm. But to leave us hanging made me mad already. But then I thought, okay, maybe it'll be a quick second. We'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. Man. Do y'all remember watching this in real time? What y'all thought?
I didn't watch. I wasn't caught up with it when I watched it. So when I came across it, I do remember. But I'll let Rich go first.
Well, I was just going to say, and we'll talk about it more as the episode goes along. You know that they're not going to kill Tony. Like, you just know. It's just more so about, and that's why when we get to our rankings, regardless of how I feel about this episode, I do like the fact that they tried to do something. They at least tried. Whether they stuck the landing or not, that's up to everybody else out there. But they tried to do something different with someone getting shot, because we all know that he's not going to die. Mm-hmm. Like, that just sounds crazy. You need an ensemble cast to do that. Right? You need a Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Game of Thrones. Fast forward 30 seconds. You need an ensemble cast, so it's no big deal when you think Ned Stark is the main character and you chop his head off in episode 9. Like, that's the wow factor. But if you have the main guy of the show, him getting shot the same way in season 1, I knew that that hit that they had and him getting shot, I knew nothing was going to come of that, because what you going to have? No Sopranos. You got Sopranos without Tony? That doesn't make any sense. So you have to be clever in how you tell the story. And I thought this was, I tipped my hat. I've never seen anything like this in television when I first watched it. But yeah, you definitely rather would pick up in the real world.
Yeah, and I'll speak to that a little bit more. You know who did this really well, where it's like, obviously they're not going to die, but we still kind of might have thought it was a possibility? Better Call Saul. Them niggas made the stakes so high. Those moments where I was like, bro, why am I know he's not gonna die because he's on the sequel.
Because we seen him in Breaking Bad.
But yet I still was like,
but they still created. That is really good.
They did that really so good. That is such a challenging thing to do. I think if they did something here, what could have worked as a big flip at the end. Again, we'll look at it maybe cheesy because we see it so much now. But at this time, what could have worked at the end is that Tony wasn't actually there. So we see him through the season, and the big reveal is that Tony wasn't actually there. Like, that's the only way I feel like they could have got this off, where he did die at this point, like by Uncle Junior. Junior wanted to kill him season 1. He died. Junior kills him season 6. We think he's alive, but the whole time he's not alive, but we see him. And so again, that would take such a elaborate way of writing, because then you have to pay attention to how characters talk when they're talking to him. Are they really talking to him? Are they really, when people do that, if they do it brilliantly, it works really well. I know a show that everybody dogs, but I think they did it well, was Empire. The oldest son, he had stopped taking his medication, and He was dating what? Because the Empire reference.
The fact that you watched enough episodes of Empire to even know what happened is crazy to me.
I'm deep in these streets.
So you was committed to that.
Once I saw Chris,
took some commitment, bro.
Once I saw Chris Rock in the orange jumpsuit as the thug of the jail, I said, absolutely not. Get me the fuck up out of here.
Hey man, come on, man. Don't typecast him, brother. Come on, let him take a stab at it.
God.
I thought he was
nah.
I think I made it.
Nah,
I made it one season.
Fair enough. I mean, I know
that's the one season I watched.
It's not that the first season it was cool, but it's not a good show. But I watched it during the pandemic. I fell off of it and I said, you know what, ain't no hype, ain't no steam. Let me just go back and just finish it. And it was just some like junk food. Anyway, they did this one thing well though. The son was on medication. He was like bipolar and he stopped taking his medication. He had met this woman, and when he met this woman, like he was dating her, everything, and he was slow to like let his parents meet her. And so they finally, after the whole season, build up the parents, Cookie and Lucius, they meet her and stuff. But then he getting in like an argument and kind of like a little bit of physical with her. And when they look back and they show you the parents' view, it ain't nobody there but him wrestling himself. Nigga, the reveal was crazy. Because they did not.
I would have been so mad.
I mean, I wasn't. I mean, the show, it wasn't a good show. That's why I was like, okay, at least I like what they try to do. The reveal was really good for a show to be bad. But anyway, so that's the only way I feel like they could have done with Tony if they had done something like he wasn't really there and he did actually die. So
like on some Sixth Sense shit.
Yeah, on some Fight Club shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, but that would take real elaborate. But if they did that, that would have been crazy. Like, Junior really is the boss of this family. You know what?
I've never watched Fight Club.
What?
I never either, but I've seen it on like.
I know the references though. Yeah,
the twist. All of it. Yeah.
They make fun of me all the time on Frames Per Second. It's a lot of like, I've never seen Back to the Future, Fight Club, Indiana Jones. I ain't never seen none of those like classic.
I'm with movies. I'm with you. Yeah. No, those are like further back though. Well, except for Fight Club, but like.
Well, I'm older than you. Remember, I'm the same age as a guy that wrote in.
that's your age, brother.
That was
the empowerment, embrace.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm with you though.
Those were generational movies for me, and mostly everybody that's my age has seen those.
Karate Kid.
Never seen the Karate Kid.
Okay, yeah. So I got the general. Okay, I got the general. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. It's a lot of different scenes. It's like I don't want. All right, I'm just gonna bundle them together because it's a lot of this. Y'all can pick which I want to pick out of it. Tony, like I said, Tony is in a bed. He gets up, goes to get a drink at the bar. The next day, Tony goes to the convention and he has the ID, and it's Kevin Finnerty. It's a guy that looks like Tony, but it's not Tony. He says, "This is not mine." Obviously, the accent has changed. Anyways, we fast forward. Tony's at the bar, and there's a lot that happens between that. He end up, trying to get a room, gets another room. Bro, I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know where to go with this. I care more about what's happening in the real world, and I'm trying to figure out how to piece it together. Because to be honest, I'm almost willing to just overlook the dream stuff and just get into the real world stuff. Because I just don't. And I don't even look at this as terrible because this is not a hard watch for me. It's a hard review for me.
Yeah, I get that. I think we talked about it when we did the test dream, how episodes like that aren't built for what we do here on Good Earners. But we can still have a conversation about it. So let me ask y'all this, because as you're talking, Mo, obviously, Spike, you voiced your frustration with how it started and the fact that we're in this random world. You have Anthony Soprano, not necessarily Tony, my boss, but Anthony Soprano from New Jersey, just on this random bed. He's at this convention. Finds out that he doesn't have his correct wallet or his correct briefcase, and he's kind of stuck. What do you think that David Chase was trying to do? Obviously, we know the whole purgatory. He's in purgatory, and I think they did a real clever job of using the lights, the helicopters. As, that's really the doctors trying to check him. I thought that stuff was real clever. But what did you think his overall? Was this just a clever way of showing what he thought purgatory would look like, or was there a deeper message to you? Did you do any Sopranos autopsy research on this episode and what the whole Kevin Finnerty thing meant?
Didn't he speak to it on the doc? He said
I don't
something about
remember.
this on
They
the
talk.
doc.
I know. Talking Sopranos. I think Michael Imperioli. He has some. Michael Imperioli is really into that type of stuff, and so he really kind of has some really good takes. It's been a while since I listened to Talking Sopranos. What I will say, Sopranos Autopsy. Shouts out to Ron. It was a lot to read, and I just didn't have the time to go through all
We
of
know
that.
we know you ain't fucking with that.
Oh yeah, you know I ain't doing that. It ain't 2 sentences. It's too much, buddy.
I'm only seen 2 paragraphs. He's like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm cool.
I definitely would do that. But but what I will say is,
Do you do that with videos too? Like if it's over like 3 minutes, will you not watch it?
no, if I'm into it,
I'm like it with videos. Like if
it's just,
somebody
if
sends
I'm
me
into
something
it.
that's like 7 minutes long, I'm not watching.
Not fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm not watching that.
That's where you got to gauge who you, which I've learned from Another Week of Books. Like you got to gauge who you're sending to. Like now I know clearly, like that changed my life. That we already talked about, but like that changed my life. Now I know how to cater and filter accordingly. Like, okay, this is something I believe connects with who y'all are. So I won't even send you nothing if it don't meet these parameters. But what I will say is, I think this is from here. What is it? The season 2 episode. Give me 1 second. You remember when Christopher got shot?
Mm-hmm.
Did he dookie on himself? They said he number 2 on himself.
That's funny. Hey, yo, check this out. This is dope. While I'm looking this up. So when you type in, Sopranos on Spotify, you got Talking Sopranos, and then right next to it, you got Good Earners. Come on, dog. Huh?
That's dope.
What's up? And then you got Potter Bing, and it goes on from there. And then you got Not Today, Pal, with Jamie Lynn Sigler and Robert Eiler.
That's
doing
dope.
things.
I ain't gonna
we
hold
doing
you.
some things. I thank y'all, man. Thank y'all listeners.
But while you're looking, did you find it? My bad.
Yeah, let me. Sorry, real quick. Well, go ahead. If you want to speak to it, I'll find the episode. I don't want to hold you up.
Nah, go ahead. You got it.
Okay, because this is something I've always thought about. So, I think it's season. Okay, so season 2. So From Where to Eternity. So I believe, this is my belief in it, this is the expounded version of what Chris gave in that little monologue of saying, that's our LT. We're stuck in an Irish bar. And I seen damn, what's his name?
Mikey.
I seen Mikey Palmisi and the other guy. They're friends now. And he had a striped suit on and all that. So I think this is the elaborate version of what Chris went through. I think that this was like one of those things where you kind of zoom in and say, hey, I want to expound a little bit on it. How about I just take them into the world of what Chris shared in a small, time frame or whatever. And even Paulie kind of witnessed somewhat with the psychic or whatever. So I think they just use this to kind of expound on that for people that like deep into it. And I do think like you need this stuff. Like I'm not as big of a fan of, but you do need this to set yourself apart to be like arguably the greatest show ever, because you're not just a mob show. Like you need these elements of I have a lot in my arsenal. I can shoot threes, I can dunk, I can dime. Like you do need these. Like I will never say you can do. I ain't a fan of it as much now because we do a podcast, but at the time, all right, whatever. I'm watching it, whatever.
I'm not sure, Rich, what they were trying to say, but I know it would have hit better for me if they had characters from the real world in the dream and they were doing other shit. Like they were other people like Tony was. This episode would be 10 times better, in my opinion. Like you had a version of Melfi in this world. You had Carmela, maybe she wasn't his wife in this world. You have AJ being like a kid in this world. So like if they had did shit like that, I think it would have made it a lot more interesting and it would have hit better too. It would have been like, oh, okay, this is what
why it wasn't though?
Like, what's that?
Because Tony asked, he said, so tell me about was it Casa Masa or Casa Mesa? And then he said, it's dead. My hot take is everybody in this dream is dead.
Or in purgatory with him.
They're in purgatory. Like that was my one deep thought. I was like, you know what? Everybody's actually dead in here. And this is the waiting room of it all. And so why it seems like it's regular, it's not. This is where that's the way I took it. I was like, because when he said it, they kept doing little things like that, and then they had the sin and, hell and that little video part that he was looking at, all of that. And there's definitely some like biblical touches to it as well. But yeah, I kind of got that feeling after I watched it a little bit. And the next episode, we'll definitely get a lot more of that. Like you about to move from the waiting room to like for real going to hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Based on what I believe they're trying to get across.
Whoa. What makes you think Tony was going to hell?
Well, because of how it was set up.
It was a joke, Mo.
Oh, okay.
If Tony going to heaven, I'm good. I'm straight. Like, bro,
you see the pearly gates.
I'm good.
Got some more life to live. Huh?
I got a whole lot more sinning to do before I'm good.
I can get away with a lot more.
I'm going light. Hey, nigga, I'm not living up to my potential. Tony going to heaven.
I ain't hit the gas yet.
Yeah. If the criteria is that low to get in, I got some living.
I got some living.
Tony looking up.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I like that point. I like what you just said, Mo, about the whole everybody in here is dead. That makes sense with the whole purgatory thing. Which let me build off Spike's point. What really would have made this fire? Big Pussy's somewhere in the episode. Ralph is somewhere in the episode. Mikey's somewhere in the episode. Now, granted, they've done those things when, he's in the car and some people who have died, Richie Aprile. But if you add them as regular characters and Tony doesn't, this version of Anthony Soprano doesn't recognize them, they're just people, then that kind of gives you a better, maybe that's too on the head for David Chase. But I also think that sometimes you don't have to outsmart everyone. You can just kind of give people what they want. Put a little bit of the candy in the medicine in the candy. So I'm gonna do this complex dream sequence that 20 years later people are still gonna discuss what I really meant by it. But I'm also going to add some people that they recognize and they know and that they know. And I think it would have been a lot better to discuss. I also just think it's a way, in my opinion, it's just a duality of showing that this is still Anthony Soprano, even if Tony, I always say the line, I won't even say it, don't matter. My whole point is, if Tony Soprano wasn't Anthony, or if Anthony Soprano wasn't Tony Soprano, the mobster, right? And he did work a regular 9 to 5, I think it's showing that you kind of still are who you are. There are moments throughout this episode when, for example, first of all, this would have pissed me off so much. The dude at the bar said he drives a Lexus, and Kevin Finner he's like, you know him? Like Tony, like, you know him? He said, no, it was a joke. Infinity, Lexus, and the look that he gave that nigga, that was a Tony Soprano look.
That was coming through. Your real conscience coming through right there.
He looked at him like dude was Georgie. Like, bro, I'm almost close to smacking you, but I'm not, because I'm not a mobster. I'm a civilian. We don't do that. That's
I'm a
crazy.
Salesman.
The same way when the monk slapped him. Like, there's no way you slapping Tony Soprano and he telling people, did you see that? He hit me. No, nigga, you getting dealt with. So I think it and even further.
And fall over with the damn.
Yeah, that's never happened to Tony.
This nigga fell over with the little guy that moves the racks with him, like moves their bruh. That is hilarious, dude.
And to take it even further, the last example I'll use is with the shorty. With the shorty.
Not being able to close the chick from the bar, that ain't Tony either.
Nah.
Yeah, he would have done it, but she even said like the way you look. I saw the look on your face when you got the phone with your wife. Like he would have dove all the way in. What wife? What are you talking about?
See,
and
that's because she had 2 legs.
And for him to be you wild, and for him to have 12 consecutive quarters of winning some award, like we know Tony can sell it. That's what Tony does.
Yeah.
So I think it's just trying to show us like you still are who you are, regardless of what version it is. Like you just live a different lifestyle, but you're still a part of what you do. As far as everything else goes, with him being in purgatory and him being in Casa Mesa, I think that's the name, Casa Mesa. I always thought it was very interesting that they chose this location. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but there's a line. Well, no, what I'm about to say is there's a line where Vito say he Marvin Gaye his own nephew. And Marvin Gaye's last performance was in Casa Mesa.
Oh, okay.
His last live performance was there. So I don't know if they did that on purpose to tie that line in there or whatever, or if it was just pure coincidence. But it's hard to just, nobody's at home sitting thinking about Casa Mesa. Apologies to anybody who's from there, but they're just not. So there had to be a reason.
Yeah. We'll do that again. We'll probably lump all of the different parts of the scenes again with the dream when we get there. I don't want to go all the way dream and then move out of it because I don't know. I didn't construct it that way, but I like how we did that. We'll come back to that.
And bitch, nigga, I lost my wallet. I lost my suitcase, bro. Don't make no fucking dumbass joke. Infinity, so he drives a Lexus. Bitch, I'll stop.
Bro, you know how
everything on you tonight.
Like you lost your phone or you lost and you really can't find it. You didn't look in the same places 3-4 times. You know how mad it because you know your well-being is going to change. You immediately, I I gotta get my
Now
service switched
is
over.
not-
I gotta. It's bruh. Like, come on, my
Now is not the
wallet, my
time, my
ID
nigga.
was in there, my social was in there. Like, I had a couple dollars in there. I gotta turn them cards. Like, you gotta make adjustments immediately, bruh. And
I guess
your last hope is hopefully Kevin Finnerty comes back to the bar. Like,
I wonder if that's why. I wonder if Kevin Finnerty he went to heaven with Tony. I wonder if I wonder if his way of making. I wonder if he saw that look from Tony and said, "Oh damn, like dude wasn't fucking with my joke," and that's the reason why he paid for his dinner. Remember, they invited him over and they got.
You
the
think he was a
tab and all that?
fanboy though? Like, because it's like it's a convention, so they obviously knew he was like one of the top earners in selling patio furniture.
I think they learned that at the they learned that at the table.
Oh, maybe. Oh, okay. Because
Yeah,
the lady came out straight up with it though. She knew what's up.
She was trying to fuck.
She was bringing it back up because he had mentioned it when they were talking about it.
I mean, that's why I was like, I'm sorry, but could they? Yeah, I mean, this definitely speaks to him being Kevin Finnerty, because she's definitely not like any of Tony's Gumars. Like, she's not a Gloria at all. Like, she's like, yeah.
Last name on that.
Gumars niggas like that have.
Yeah, she was all right. Yeah, he can't get no
wrong.
glory.
I mean, she's still potatoes.
Kevin
still
Finnerty
mashed,
can't get no
but
glory.
She ain't.
That's crazy.
Like, she ain't Gloria though. It ain't Ralph.
It ain't Ralph though.
It ain't Ralph.
That Ralph though.
You know what I'm saying?
What y'all doing in that situation? Y'all ain't got no ID. You can't fly home. You ain't got none of your credit cards. Y'all doing the same thing Tony did?
Yeah, if it came down to it, and depending on how far away I am, because the only other option, really, especially given the time, 2006, the only other option really is, baby, you got to buy a ticket, you got to fly out here, you got to rent me a car, you got to buy. You have to, you know what I mean? You have to come out here and be my transportation now. You have to fly out here, rent a car for me, and we're gonna drive back to wherever we going. That's the only way I can think of getting there, because nobody else is gonna give you anything with ID. Either that, or you do some kind of like,
or you gonna have to get with old girl. You gonna have to get with old girl. You gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, because no, I'm not saying like that. Not like that. But like,
but you still can have some random woman drive you home.
No, she's not driving you home, but
she get with her. A car.
She gonna help. Yeah, she gonna set you up, kind of like, because if you got, like, let's say you got a tough wife or tough situation where, like, oh, she gonna get on my case. I cannot do this. I cannot hear her go off for 13 hours about how I forgot this and how you lose this and how you lose that.
But so here's the thing.
How you gonna pay the lady back? How you gonna pay the lady back?
I understand.
How you gonna convince her?
I'm one of the top sellers of patio furniture.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You convince somebody to rent a car from you that nigga. Ain't nobody renting cars.
I mean, renting a car ain't that bad. Like, they're at a convention, so the convention costs more than renting a car for sure.
To rent a car, all right, Mo, hold on, time out. Hold on. Let's reel this back in.
And we talking 2006.
A stranger comes up to you, Mo, and say, "Hey, man, I'm in a bind. I lost all my identification. Can you rent a car for me to drive back home?" Like, what is that gonna have? Like, think about what they have to tell you to say, okay, cool. Let me go into Enterprise, let me go into Hertz, let me go into Avis and rent this person a car. I don't even know if their name is their name, because they don't have any kind of identification. I don't know if they have any ways of paying me back. I don't know what they doing with this car that's rented in my name, because you're responsible for that legally. If something happens to that car, they putting up your insurance. They're gonna ask you for that. Like, that ain't happening. And I'm sorry.
I'll double down. I'll double down on that real quick before you go, Mo. If family or one of my long-term friends that I've been knowing for 20 plus years called me, "Hey, bro, can you rent me a car?"
Nigga, no, get some credit. Get some credit,
I don't
my
even know what you got going on. No, absolutely not. I'll give you the Turo app. You know, this app right here let you get off. Go there.
Yeah, I'm not. They be trying to get you to co-sign on something. No.
Nah, stop playing, Louis. Stop playing, big. Come on, you know.
I hate the. Hey, can you just co-sign? Nah, nigga, I can't believe you asked me.
You don't got no other people in your life. That's what
I got a cousin right now that, like, I don't even pick up anymore, because I've already told him how I felt. He let him marinate for like 6 months, call him back again, and then text him like, "Hey, cuzzo." Like, nah, don't hey cuzzo me, bro. I know what you're doing. But anyways,
I know what he's doing too.
The only person to get blocked quicker than those people is the Forex people. Hey, man, I know how you can make some money. Like, get out of here.
Man, bro, they finesses is crazy now. Like, these random text messages is wild. But like I'm saying, like, let's say he doing the Kevin Finnerty thing. Okay, I'm linking up with her tonight. We building chemistry. It's like, I can't do this, but hey, I'd love to just, stay in the room. We could just talk all night. Okay, cool. Boom.
Are you on your way to exhale shit?
What?
Hey, yeah,
Wesley Snipes away
yeah,
into
I'm
his
definitely,
cell.
I'm definitely, absolutely. I'm slow building towards this so I can build
You a
this
con
chemistry.
man. So you a con man.
I'm Kevin Finnerty.
You conning her, bro. I'm gonna stay up all night and talk to you so I can potentially rent a
Bro,
car.
I gotta get home.
I'm better off. I'm better off giving her dick.
I'll take the bus home, right?
I mean,
I'll
hey,
take
that's
the
a
bus
bonus.
home.
That's a bonus. I mean, you
Nah,
know.
I'm better off doing that. Yeah, what the? Well, let me stop, man. Let me
Okay,
chill.
well that's okay. We'll get see now. We get the rental quicker.
All
That's
night.
that's my whole point.
Well,
That's the whole point.
That's
Because
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna do
So if it's a stranger, we're not strangers anymore. That's why we got to know each other really well. We ain't strangers no more. Can you help me? Can you please put this car in your name so I can please get back to Jersey?
I'm set. Now you know what? Keep going. I'm about to have.
Now go ahead. This is an episode. We ain't got nothing else. We ain't got nothing else. Come on. Come on. Give us a glimpse.
She's going to be offering to pay for the rental by the time I'm finished.
Oh,
that's what's gonna happen.
No, that's what I'm saying. I
don't need to. We ain't got to talk about us being strangers no more. Nah, man. She gonna be like, you need that ride? I got you. What else?
That's my point,
nigga. I'm trying to make it to the point where you fuck a rental, nigga. I'll pay for the Uber X, the Uber Black, nigga. I don't care how far it is. You can be in that bitch for hours.
Dang, Uber
Here's
Black
some cash. Oh yeah, I mean, listen. If a driver got that and said, because that's the one thing about that. They don't know where they're going until they actually accept the ride or not. Like, it doesn't tell you Maurice wants a ride and he's going to, St. Petersburg. It just says Maurice needs a ride.
Got a pickup.
And when you accept it, motherfucker get in your shit like, yeah, man, I need to go 3 hours away. Like, huh? Now I've seen people do that. Like, yo, I'd rather just cut the Uber off. Let's make a cash deal. Jalen Rose talked about that. Jalen Rose talked about him having to pay like X amount of dollars, thousands of dollars to someone because his flight got canceled. He needed to be back for like covering one of the NBA Finals games, and that's how he ended up doing it. And there was a football player who had to get to training camp in Cleveland, and he was in like St. Louis, and he paid the Uber driver. So I've heard stories of this before. A lot of them actually just under the table, like the bootlegs, like when the like in The Wire, when Mike and Dookie, when they went to Six Flags and they just found a hood taxi. They call them bootlegs in Cincinnati. I don't know what they call them anywhere else.
We had something like that in North Carolina. There was a guy that he was like a hotel, like kind of, like he drive a little hotel van a couple miles this way, a couple miles that way. But he ended up saying, "Hey, y'all need me to take y'all somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We can make that happen." And he was mad cool. So we definitely, we utilize that. He was a brother and everything. So yeah, there's this. But yeah, that's funny. Like, what are we doing to get home? But
that's real.
So
we're back in the real world now.
Yeah, we're back in the real world. We see Tony's kind of coming out of it. He's definitely, barely hanging on. He's got the throw up mouth. Meadow, Carmela, they see him, and he wakes up for a second, and he says, "Where am I going?" I seen a funny meme today that was that said, "Who am I?" It's the same thing. It says, "Where am I going?" Or "Where are you going?" He said, "The bird,
right?
The bird feeder." We forever not letting the bird feeder die. Like, I'm not over it. Sorry, that's my own little ignorance. But shout out to the doctor, man. The doctor, he played in another show that I really enjoyed called Dexter. He was a really I like this character on there. So when I seen him, I was like, oh, that's old boy. But
that's the boss, right?
Not his boss, but he was kind of. He was connected with him on that forensic side of things, but he was cool on there. I liked him on there. But let me see. So they tried to sedate and say, "Hey, look, y'all got to get back out of here." And then we get AJ pulls up as well, and I don't know. I don't know.
I got you.
I will say, Edie Falco, man, chef's kiss. Like, she bodied this.
Absolutely.
Not even been in the whole episode, but bro, that look, and I've been in the hospital all night. I'm worried about my husband. Still asking AJ, did he eat? Like, just this may be one of her best performances. I will put this right there with Whitecaps.
Gosh, you're right. It's up there. They had to send this. They had to submit this.
Had to.
Agreed. I think it is up there. I don't know if I mentioned that episode 1, a members only one. I think I did. How it won an Emmy for outstanding writing. The most fascinating thing about this is obviously we back in the real world, and this is as the viewer, this is our first time to kind of witness what's really going on,
What's
right?
really going on? Yeah.
What's really going on?
What's going on?
Thanks, man. Marvin Gaye reference. I love how you tie that all together.
You know.
Yeah, you a professional, bro. But we really get to see like what the family's going through, what kind of condition Tony really is in, because all we saw was a 911 call. Remember, as viewers, we don't even know if the call went through or what's going on, who found Tony. Like, I still want to know what that was. I would have loved to see a scene of who actually pulled up to the crib. I want to see Uncle Junior get taken into custody, like all that and how it played out. I want to see if Uncle Junior ever, because I want to see if there was ever a moment. I want to see if there was ever a moment where Uncle Junior kind of snapped back into it and then realized what he did.
It was like, oh shit.
Really, and it was like, oh shit, or if he really was just that way hiding in the closet until the cops come or whatever.
I think the most fascinating. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. No. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the Junior part. Yeah, we've seen a million times with cliffhanger in the next episode. Hey, we got to get him, and they got him on a little, the ambulance cart. And I was like, I'm glad they didn't, because we've seen that a million times. Like, oh, hey, we got to give him oxygen. We need to give him three doses of, running him into the hospital. Go, that's my husband. I'm glad they didn't do all that. Like that, I am glad they do. But the Junior part you're saying, I think that could have been really interesting. Like, is anybody else in the house? All that. Yeah.
And every time I look at, the most fascinating thing about these episodes, and this episode in particular, is when I think about when Carmela told Tony that you don't have friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because one big aspect is what happens when the boss is shot and he's in the hospital, right? Everybody's there, of course, but it's all about appearances. I have to be here. We see moments throughout this episode where Vito's trying to be the first one to the hospital. Chris and Paulie are talking about what they're going to get Tony to buy him to get in the stereo or get into the room. There's a moment next episode, or maybe episode 4, I can't remember which one, when Paulie and Vito are looking at it as,
I'm taking
this nigga might, this nigga. No, not even that. That's this episode, not even taking it home. Remember, there's some bread that's owed to Carmela. And them niggas had that look. I know. It's a couple episodes. I'm not talking about that scene itself. My whole point is, it's not really about, oh, I'm crushed. Tony's in the hospital. Like, you can see the difference between Carmela and them. I'm here because I have to be, not because that's my dog. That's my family. Like, that's somebody I love dearly. This is gonna break me if something happens to him. It's more so like, man, I'm here because I gotta be here. And I'm here to kind of see what else, how can I position myself into a good standing if he doesn't pull through? And I just think that's very interesting to observe how they kind of fight for that position throughout these episodes when Tony's in the hospital.
I like it.
Great.
Yeah. Christopher.
And this is the beginning of shitberg AJ. Like, we had just not liked him before, but this is this episode, he was disgusting.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Like, Anthony Soprano's not about to, like, it makes me mad. And this, I'm sorry, and I mean, I think Robert Eiler did his thizzle, but like, it just makes me mad. I'm sorry to cut you off, Spike. That I guess it just always gets me that, like, it's not understood why we don't like him. And that statement, I wish it was retracted, like, later. Like, you know what? I watched it over, what I created, and I see it now. But it never was. It was just still kind of like lingered there. And it's just like, we're like, this is supposed to be some subtle way of, like, we say, oh, AJ cares. Oh, AJ really cares. Anthony Soprano's not going to die. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Oh, I got to, like, he has no redeemable qualities. Nothing about AJ is redeemable. Like, y'all didn't write anything. Y'all just wrote him as, like, he is definitely in that Joffrey, level for real. Like, there's nothing about AJ redeemable. He's never done anything good, never done anything like showed he cared. Period. Like, even when he gave his mom a gift, it's like on some, like, bull. Like, I don't know. It's just they never gave him a chance to be redeemable. Even when we get to the later part of this season, I asked Spike this way early. Y'all can go find that in the early days of Good Earners. But I asked, like, did you feel bad about later? He was like, no. And when we get there, we'll have that conversation again. And I may actually jump on that on the Spike boat with that, because the way they just have done it, they've given him nowhere to go. This is the time. Give him something. if you want him to have some kind, but again, it's that contrarian thing that, like Rich was saying, was like, for once, can you just come on? It's a layup. It's right there. But instead, if they're gonna like it, I got to go all the way different, which is what my issue was with the doc. So it's like, this is one of the moments, like, show us a little bit of heart from AJ, a little bit, because when we do get the heart from AJ, it's not believable. Like when we get in this season, it's not believable to me. So
I can't overstate this. I just want to say it again. Spike already brought it up. Edie Falco, man, that scene when the doctor told him, like, yo, it's really not looking good. Chris had to console her. Like the places you have to go as an actor, we got to remember, man. This is what I know. We look at it as Carmela Sopranos, but that's Edie Falco. She came to work. Like, how many times niggas done went to work and like, I do not feel like being here. Like, you have to take yourself to a certain place to get that kind of reaction. You would have thought her real peoples was in there, and she just got the news they about to die. It's incredible. Like, it's astounding. I can't tip my hat. I can't give her enough flowers for her acting in this episode.
Bro, that was literally in my notes. Like, how did she get there? I will listen to a podcast of actors where people just ask them about.
No. Don't give away the ideas for free, my boy. We'll talk about that off air.
Okay. Here, hold on. Let me throw it in the chat there. Let me throw it in the chat, because if not, I'll forget. Hold on.
Can y'all
I might have an idea.
I do got an idea.
When you're doing that, can y'all recall another character where you like, damn, how did it get in that bad? Like when I think the first one I think of is Viola Davis on Fences. The little meme when she got the snot running out, like she bodied that. So
that's
I think Mekhi Phifer spoke to it, but paid in full. Like getting into that moment, like the way he was angry but sad with the tears. Like, anybody that ever owed me money, he's fucking dead. Like, that nigga was there, bro. Like, you thought he really lost. Like, he was in. I'm like, dang, bro, the tears, man. I'm on some real murder shit. Big, like, he was really in, bro. I was like, damn, Mekhi, I felt you, bro. You was a selfish nigga, but I felt you. You know what I'm saying?
We laugh at this one. It's funny now, but in the moment, Cuba Gooding Jr. on Boys in the Hood, after he got out the car and went back to your girl house, and was fighting the ass.
Nah, nigga, that's like
he was in his bag.
He was
in his bag.
He was, because that's that emotion is a real emotion though. As corny as it looks, that's real, bro. Like, I don't know about everybody else. I've had a swinging arms crying moment in real life as a youth. Like, I definitely know that feeling. So it's like,
as a youth,
So that was real.
I will. The last one I'll say, not to the same level per se, but just fascinating. And when you watch the scene, Michael Wright, who played Eddie King Jr. in 5 Heartbeats, that classic scene in 5 Heartbeats with him and Flash, like, you want my spot, Flash? You want my spot?
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Well, that's Temptations.
That's the wrong one. It's the wrong one.
Yeah, well, you ain't gonna get it. And like, if you watch that scene and see the character of Flash slam that door in his face, like, none of that was in the script, bro. Like, Robert Townsend, the genius of Robert Townsend, played those actors against each other. Because Michael Wright's a method actor, so he was really like, once they said cut, he was still Eddie Kane, and he was still like the drunk version. And that nigga, the dude that played Flash is like a kung fu artist. Like, he really knows this. And he told Robert Townsend, like, hey, man, like, ain't gonna be too many more of these him all up in my face talking this shit, bro, because it can really get real around here. And Robert was like, all right, cool, I got you. Like, I'll talk to him. And he go to Michael Wright and say, hey, man, do it more, do it again, but give me more this time. Like, so he was really pitting him. So when he slammed that door, that nigga really slammed that door in his face. It wasn't no acting. It wasn't in the script. It was like, nigga, I promise you, if we do one more scene, it's gonna be some furniture moving around here. Same thing with Bird. Same thing with Bird, man. When when Big Red was whooping his ass and holding him up the balcony, that nigga said, hold on, man. You can't just be hitting me in the face like that, nigga. This is how I pay the bills. Like, I just love when I love when actors say, I don't give a fuck. Like, I got to take it there. Or
like Ghost did with
man, y'all know, like Dose of Tasha when he pushed her head, when he nudged her.
Yeah.
Or
that wasn't in the script.
And my bad, y'all, because y'all know I'm a movie.
Yes, a list of them. Go for it.
The last one I'll mention. No, not Neil Long. Sanaa Lathan and Alfre Woodard in Love and Basketball. That scene after Monica gets back from Spain and she in the kitchen, she talking to her mom and said, all you did is iron his drawers, and she slapped her. That was a real ass slap. Like, Sanaa Lathan was not expecting it. And
that's why she's surprised like that.
That's why she's surprised like that. And it fit perfect because she legit looked like even your boy from Entourage, Jeremy Piven. I think when he went over to talk to old boy about, hey, take it back, when he was talking about his wife, that wasn't in the script to slap that nigga. I say,
I didn't know that.
Oh man, that was crazy. But I would say my last one would be Morris Chestnut and Bestman Holiday. Like every time, bro, I said, how did that nigga get there at that funeral?
That was a good
That
one.
nigga turned to a kid. I said, bro, I can't watch this. I'm about to, you killing me, bro. I'm about to cry with you, nigga. Like I felt everything. I say, oh man, get me out. And they let it brew. They let it brew, bro.
Absolutely.
I say, that was exceptional.
And just the full circle moment, Goodfellas, obviously the famous. I got to turn my back on you scene when Paulie gave Henry some money and told him pretty much like, I got to turn my back. There's a moment in that scene where he smacked him. That wasn't in the script either. And I love watching it because if you rewatch that scene, you look at Ray Liotta's face, that nigga just perked up like, what? Because he wasn't expecting that slap. So I figured I tied up with a mob reference.
Hey man, that was great. Y'all, hey, tune in for the next Back of the Bean. You never know.
That's what this episode requires. Those little tangents.
It does. It does require all of that.
Back to the dream world.
Back to the dream world. Well, yeah. So we're back in the dream world. Tony's checking in, but he's going as Kevin Finnerty. So this is definitely.
Imagine if that nigga didn't have no money on his card. Imagine if he was broke. I would have been.
Hey, you've been dogging that nigga out, old broke ass, bitch ass motherfucker.
Oh, ass nigga can't even get a hotel room.
Bro, you like dog, you are on complete faith when you swiping a card. You don't got mobile, you ain't got mobile banking. You don't know if you in the negatives, nigga. You just for like swiping cards with no info, dog. Hopefully it go through. Give me this $250 hotel room. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, man, I was glad to see it went through for him, even though it's a dream sequence. But look, it's funny because like how he's playing it, you're trying to be regular when you know you're doing some shady business, and that still even lines up like James Gandolfini. Yeah, just you're doing so like, and it speaks to the. I compared this to the for my Seinfeld fans. Shout out to Sopranfield and Yada Bing. But this is to me the Soprano version of the opposite. The episode where George does everything the opposite. This is the whole flip, like So anyway, y'all go watch that Seinfeld episode. It's top 5 episodes. But so Tony doing this, it's funny him being Kevin. Tony wouldn't blink an eye about it. Like you see him last episode still in shades, like, hey, I forgot my wallet in the car. We'll get back to you later. No hezzy. You see him here, he's rubbing his eye kind of like feeling nervous about the fact, just like he did with the lady. So this is like the opposite Tony. You know what I'm saying? Like you said with the Snowfall reference. But yeah.
Yep. And the Snowfall reference, just for the people that are listening that are familiar with the show as well, I was watching Snowfall in season 3, episode 10, Different Lives, I think it's called. They essentially jacked this whole premise.
That's crazy. I never thought about that till you said it.
Franklin got shot. Then the next episode, he wakes up in a dream. He's in class, and he goes through this whole Kevin Finnerty situation. And then, of course, what happens at the end. But yeah, I think it was the exact parallel.
You know, to be honest, I wasn't, and maybe because we didn't get dreams like that. That was like a one-off. I wasn't really mad at it, to be honest. Because and for me, in a way, I mean, because we've done this pod for so long, I've collected some of your ideologies, and I kind of agree with them as I've taken time to process. Like how you always say, I'd rather spend more time in the real world. So I now kind of see what you're saying. I'm like, you know what, you could be more creative and keep throwing in these tidbits. Man, I made Dean's list. Hey, I could have. All these moments, like I got an IQ of such as those things. You're right. Like you could get that versus like really expounding and going to a dream world. I prefer when people get high, like when they do high episodes. I prefer stuff like that, like Entourage did. I do. Me personally, I'm thinking.
Do you like the Snowfall wedding when they went to the wedding when bodies? I wasn't the biggest fan of that.
The problem is you tried to go for it. Like y'all tried to go for it and it wasn't there. Like you look like you were trying to go for the for the award. Like oh, we're going to submit this episode. This is but it wasn't there like it at all. And I don't think that part was even written as well as it was acted. It was acted well, but it wasn't written.
It was acted. Yeah, it was acting incredibly. That's another show we talked when we did Entourage. That's another show. You take away 1 or 2 seasons, you talking about a top 5 show of all time.
Yes,
that's true. That's true.
season.
Yeah, I remember them having that comparison to The Wire.
Yeah, I do. I remember telling everybody to shut the hell up when they said it too.
Yeah, you went too goddamn far now. You went too far.
Look at y'all. Look at y'all. The Wire boys over here. But yeah, great contention for best episode ever. Because I don't think that's his clear cut.
What's that?
Snowfall.
Oh no, it's not. We've already listened. Me and Spike have already.
Y'all got a list. Okay.
Yeah, that one's already.
Yeah, I already told him. I told him we're gonna finish Snow School and we're gonna do the best episode ever.
Oh, y'all finishing Snow School?
We gotta finish it, man. I can't have my dog out here with incomplete work.
I remember, you know what, we talked about that at one point. Remember, didn't we?
He's too. Yeah, you're too well regarded, and you too good at this to not just have something out there that ain't finished. We gotta finish. It ain't a lot. We just gonna go in there. We gonna scoop up and finish Snowfall or Snow School, and then we gonna do best episode ever on.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like just like our Soprano fans, they're on their rewatches, but still, they're always looking for something to go with it. So you might get new legs, new new light on that for sure. I love that show too. I could have definitely at that point when we first started, I was like, that would have been like I would definitely been all the way in on because I really enjoyed it. But anyway, I got a lot more things to say about that, but I'm gonna get too far off of Sopranos. We get in the dream sequence. We see the monks, and the monks pretty much tell him about. I think they owe him, and he's like, "Well, I'm not." Bro, it's funny than a mug because I don't know if y'all
ever. What you think Kevin Finnery did? What you think he did?
He schemed him.
He was a corporate schemer. He's the opposite of Tony. Tony's like a street level mob guy schemer. Kevin Finnery's like a corporate schemer.
Like he sells patio furniture, right? Didn't they say that's what he sold?
Yeah.
I thought it was like heating or something. Then he said something about heating, like the winter was cold or something.
Okay, we had a horrible winter at the Mason. Yeah,
but look, the interesting thing about this is obviously when he gets slapped up real quick, but like the interesting thing is when you get caught when you're telling the truth, but the truth sounds so close to a lie. That's the thing I took away from this. You ever been in a scenario with your girl or like with somebody close to you where you know the truth is so wild? Like, because he's saying, I'm not Kevin. I mean, I look like, I'm telling you, I'm not Kevin Finnery. I look like him, but I'm not him. Like, it sounds ridiculous. Like, I just thought
I've lied before because I know the truth is crazy.
I've done that. I've definitely done that.
Like, I'm just going to lie about it because if I told you it really happened, you ain't going to believe that.
Bro, I promise you I've done that. Like, I got to lie because this truth is so wild. You don't think I'm lying. And now I can't, it's not, there's not enough validation I could give you to make you know this is truth. But anyway, they slap him up and he turns into a tattletale. He hit me, whatever. Then he gets on the phone, calls his wife again. Is this Charmaine? I forgot who they said this was. There was a big reveal about who this was.
It was just some random person. It was never meant to be anybody. They ended up crediting the person, the actor who did the voice, but it's nobody.
But yeah, it's not like
nobody significant.
Okay. But yeah, we get the phone call, and at that point, that's what you should have been calling and saying, "Hey, yo, get me out of here." You know. But we get to the next morning. We see there's a bear. It looks like it's in front of the stairs or the elevator. Let me see. It is in front of an elevator, and it says "out of order. Please bear with us." I think obviously, like I told y'all, Tony's the bear. So the bear is out of order. He's in under.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
So slick. I think they did a lot of good slick messaging, I would say, through here. Like that I would give them. Like the verbiage, they were really good. Like it's dead here. Join the club. We've all been there. We don't, I don't know who I am. We all been there. Like all those things really work well as far as just reminding us that this is not the real world.
I think the most frustrating part about this, just real quick, is we have this real situation going on, and it feels like you're kicking the can if you're a viewer and you're watching this. We're watching Tony get slapped by monks, have these frivolous dinners and at bars with these random people that we don't care about, fall down a flight of stairs. Like, we don't care, bro. I really don't care if this stuff means something. I would rather, much like you said earlier, Mo, be in the real world. Even if he was in a coma the whole episode and
That's
everybody else was doing it, I would have much
let's
preferred
have
that.
that
I just want to say
conversation.
that.
Let's have that
All right.
conversation right there. James Gandolfini, rest in peace, Jimmy James Gandolfini. We know how hard he really started to work with. They started to have him like damn near every scene. He was having really long days, according to what they've spoke about, and a hard time at some point. And he was ready to quit often, based on the documentary.
They said every 2 episodes.
Every
right?
2 episodes. This is a moment where you do this one, and what's the next one? Mayhem. This is a good time to let him rest up for real, and spend more time with the ensemble. Because
I love
because you're not gonna get canceled. It's the end. You got the contract. It's the end of the series. It's already set. You already sold these episodes to HBO. This is a good time to let him rest, and let's see what the ensemble does. Let's see how chaotic it can really get. Let's see how people really are. Carmela sets
what
the
they're
seed
thinking.
and what they're thinking.
Like,
they're
what's Chris thinking right now? Chris just lost his fiance. This is his cousin who's always looked out for him. He just got shot. How do he feel about Junior right now? Like everybody, but we don't really get even like Paul. Like, yeah, they sit with him some and talk, and you have those little moments, but just being with them with this information that's out there, and like you said, not having to depend on James Gandolfini so much, and just letting those other actors cook with the idea of, yeah, as fans, like you said, which we know that he's not going to die, but they don't know that in this world. One of the great things that would have happened, that could have happened, is these characters actually dealing with, like AJ was saying, most of these people think Tony is invincible. He's their Superman. So to see him laid up like that, having seizures, not knowing if he's going to make it, doctors giving you bad news, like, how does that affect Seal? How does it affect New York and Phil? Like, how does that affect a lot of different people? I would love to see that.
That
Dr. Melfi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
no, I there's it because these characters, we're invested in all of them, really, to be honest.
Exactly.
We've had Silvio episode, a Carmela episode, a Meadow episode, a AJ episode. Like, we're in a Janice episode. Like, we're invested in them. I would love, this could have been a Janice episode. We could have followed Janice in this whole thing, rather she gonna scheme on her brother because of what he did about the Harpo thing. Like, it's so many ways we could have took. I get it. At this time when it was happening, there was no Instagram, there was no YouTube like that. There wasn't these places, to have conversation. I mean, they probably had some online, cracked websites back then, but like, these were like conversations, deep conversations I imagine people were having at work in the era, in the time. Robert the Hernandez hit us up and let us know what it was like in real time. But I imagine these were just trying to explore deeper things, you know what I'm saying? So I get why it's there, but now at this age, all it is it doesn't, those things don't age well to me. That's what I would say. It just doesn't age well for me. I ain't gonna say overall. Some people it's like, oh, it resonates, but it doesn't age well because we don't really know how that goes. We don't know what world that is. We don't know how it actually is. We can't fully express that. This is your concept of it. Okay, we got it, but we don't know how that is. So it takes us out of the connection. But we can connect with grief. We can connect with a loved one in the hospital. We can connect with that. Well, we can't connect with this because this is your process and what you believe or what you think it is. So we don't connect. It takes us out of it. So here's what I think we can do. So I'm gonna try to do this. It's on off the cuff. Let's just get through all of the dream sequence, and then let's just move on. Because I don't really care to go more into the dream sequences anymore, like in sync. So we got him. He books the room. He got slapped. He calls the wife. We go back in the world. Kevin
Can I push back? Can I just
back.
suggest something real quick, just to make it easier on you?
Go for it.
Is that going to be a lot to just be bouncing around because they're not in sequence? Do you just want to ignore, like, just talk about the real life stuff and skip through the dreams? Maybe just say something if we need to, and just do it like that versus trying to talk about the dreams now, then go back to real. Just let's just keep it flowing.
Okay.
Just for you. If you know how to manage it, then by all means.
I like that better. Because because I would have probably color coordinated the notes if I did it that way. But yeah, I will do that. We get so we get Carmela talks to the doctor, and they pretty much bad news, and Meadow is talking to him. Then they do this silly thing that I can't stand. They go into this little side tangent of Meadows. She's thinking about going to law school, or going to being a doctor or whatever. She was like, I haven't decided yet. None of this has anything to do. This is how selfish these characters still are. Like it has zero to do. Like Carmela brings it up to still have this proud moment. It felt real and on brand.
Carmela brought it up. Carmela brought it up because
she's like into it for a second. Like she got a little smirk and everything. Like,
but the reason that she brought it up is because she kept interrupting the doctor, and she wanted to show justification as to why Meadow was interrupting the doctor. And the reason that Meadow, well, I don't know what Meadow had going on, but do y'all think the doctor treated them unfairly, or he was just being a doctor?
He was just being he treated it he treated it as someone who does this every day. Like no different. Like I know it's personal for y'all because y'all not in here every day. This doesn't happen every day. But for me, I see this all the time. No different than people who work in car insurance, bro. We see accidents all the time. I see wrecked cars all the time. Some people might not get in an accident for 15 years. That's a big deal for them.
True. Good point.
You know what I mean? But really I see this. Yeah, I see this every day, bro. I know y'all hyped up. All right, cool. We'll see what happens. He's a number to him. He's a patient. There's no personal tie.
Damn. Fair enough. It don't matter how many people showing up. It don't matter the significance of this thing of yours, these families, members.
Hey,
we don't care.
To quote Rico, man, niggas get shot every day, B.
That's crazy. That's
you
that's
just
true.
Yeah.
He right though. Like that's a scary perspective to have though. But it's real. But it's a scary thing to be that desensitized. Yeah, in that world
you got to, man. Could you imagine being a doctor and like actually, and this is gonna sound crazy, but actually caring about every single person, like the amount of time it takes to care. You wouldn't get anything done. You wouldn't be able to take care of certain people. You have to be emotionless to get this type of work done. That's why. Never mind. We ain't even gonna go there. Keep going.
Dang. See, you always set us up so crazy, bro. Why you be doing us like that, man?
Yeah, because we want
to hear the brilliance of Big Rich Town.
The older I get, the more careful I try to get with my words. Okay. Especially when you get a lot of misinformation. And I've never been a doctor. I've never been a nurse. I never worked in that field. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be irresponsible for anybody who does work in that field and throw out things that I observed as law when it might just be other circumstances that go into it. Okay. I'd rather have a real conversation about it than me just spewing out bullshit.
Fair enough.
So that's part of the reason why. I'll say a lot of shit, but certain things I'm like, all right, that might not be the most fair thing.
That's a wise man. That's a really wise of you, man.
It's 37 years, man.
Wise words from a decent man.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, this doctor, yeah, he was doing his job. Like, whatever. They picked a great doctor because he definitely got that like Dr. Douche kind of face that like, I really don't care. That's cool. Like all that kind of.
I got to go to the next patient.
Yeah, kind of like I got other things to do. But here's what I didn't like. Meadow
Dr. Kennedy was on the same shit.
He was definitely on the same. Shouts out to Dr. Kennedy, man. The good old days of Sopranos. But here we go. We get this. Meadow says he's a doctor. She was like, "Oh, you treat these doctors like rock stars. What is your issue?" Now we're getting back to the old Meadow that's annoying and is not attractive, and just this like. I don't know, just a little bit of a Olivia flavor in there. Like, what is this?
I think I think it fits her character, though. I think that flaring up, like you said, we've seen this before. We haven't seen it a lot because she hasn't been here lately. But it flaring up in this tense situation where they're worried about her dad, I could see it like this thing that she's doing. Like, he ain't done shit for us. Like, who? Like, it reminds me of old Meadow.
Yeah.
Yep. And as you guys talk about that, it makes me think about the scene in this episode when she's on the phone with Finn. Are you coming out here because you don't like what you're doing, or are you coming out like, hey, shut? Why is that even on your mind with your dad in the hospital like that? I don't even got the time to argue like that. Like, you coming or not? Because I don't care if you are or not. I don't got time. Let me know if you are so I can prepare.
I got some things.
Like, Meadow, shut up.
I got some things to say about that. But yeah, it bothered me because to me, I looked at this like how you are with your waiter. Like, yes, I'm treating them like rock stars because I want them to make sure my food is taken care of with care. Like, yes, I don't want you skipping steps. I don't want you half-assing. My dad got a hole in his stomach, dog. Yes, I'm treating him like a rock star. I'm like he's like Martin said. Right now, he's Eddie Murphy and I'm Arsenio Halls. Like, bro, hey, nigga, you hear me? I'm not.
That nigga
playing.
could that doctor could easily turn into Ivan Drago, nigga. If he dies, he dies. Nigga, fuck it.
Like, what do you talk about, Meadow? Get out of my face. Do you see what I look like? Like, she don't got makeup on. Like, she is going through it right now. Like, man.
And I guess, if I was to shoot some Bill to Meadow, everyone goes through grief and tragedy differently. If I wanted to shoot some bail, but there's no difference. If I was at the hospital, I'm still telling her what I'm saying right now. Like, yo, relax, like, chill. What you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're doing too
much. And if you wasn't being such a dickhead, I wouldn't have had to apologize and say I'm sorry. She volunteered at the ICU.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing? This is a doctor, bro. This nigga been a doctor for years. Like, what are you talking? Your input.
Like, bro, you looked online at you looked online and diagnosed. Like, you took a class, you diagnosed based on online information, and then you want to challenge the doctor. Like, go sit your ass down somewhere, bro. Like, that's what that is. That's what that is. Yeah. But
my line would be, you read WebMD too, huh?
Hey, WebMD, don't believe everything. Hey, get off a wiki, man. But Janice pulls up, and she's doing the thing, and she comes to the room. My only question is, was Janice's feelings genuine, you think, or no? It's a challenge for me.
It's funny that you have to ask.
It is.
That's how good of a character Janice is.
But Tony's like that too.
And it's also funny that we don't know. But I will say this.
You're right.
I'm not sure how genuine it is, but what she's doing that I picked up on in this scene is tapping into their mother. This is Livia.
I felt that. Yeah, that Livia was there.
Yeah, I've seen this, and I know what the reaction should be based off what I think my mom would do. So this is what I'm going to do. It was theatrical. I think she really did feel a way, but she's tapping into this is what mom would have did. And that's the only place that she could go dealing with her grief, which I thought was a brilliant job by the actor.
It was genuine, but it was extra. Because I asked myself the same thing as I watch it. I'm like, hold on, is that because there is obviously, if you're watching this in real time, I always reference the very end of this series and that moment they have on the back deck. You're the only person there. There is an understanding between Tony and Janice, regardless of their day-to-day personal relationship. Whereas, like, damn, like, that's somebody who gets me. And even though it might be tumultuous, I still don't want to see him laid up like this. But I do think she added a little bit extra to it because that's what Janice does.
Mm-hmm. I always reference to the season 2 finale where Janice goes back home. So when you say that, like this moment and then the deck moment of this season, and I always reference that season 2 after Richie's killed, it's like, Tony, what's wrong with our family? Like that moment, it was a small moment. She was about to get on the bus, but I always look at that like those are those small moments of they got an understanding as siblings. Like our family is unconventional. It's weird. We're off. We know we're off. We just blessed to survive in the household we grew up in. But again, we're just different.
It just makes it hard to buy when you have it should be you moments too. You know what I mean? It should be you. It should be you. And
that's true.
There's been multiple conversations that Janice has had on the low, like slick talk, like, hey man, something happened to him. I'm just saying.
But I don't know if she wanted it to go to this far. I think she wanted to be where like you're out of commission, not like so much like you're just out. I feel like I do. I genuinely think that. I think that it's like I wanted to be a setup where I want to get mine. I want to be a part of the nigga that's the nigga. But at the same time, I don't want him to be dead. Like that ain't never the goal. Like I ain't.
But that's the thing. You can't have it both ways. Like you.
No, exactly. No, you're right.
Like Bobby McCall. Like Bobby McCall said, Denzel's character in Equalizer, man. When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too.
True. Yep. And come with it. I have a lot of things I can say about that, but I'll have that conversation later. It's something I've got a revelation to recently. But I would say, lastly, again, the recast of Barb Like she looked older than all of them. Like I'm like, bro, yeah, this is not a good recast. I'm sorry. Like it when you see Janice go in the room and you see Barb and Carmel, it's like she doesn't look like the baby sister, bro. Like all due respect, but she just doesn't. Like the first one did. Like she had the kind of more of a younger look. This one, she just don't look like it. Like I'm not buying it. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened to the original actress, but if you look at the scene, you're looking like, oh, she look like she possibly could be Janice's older sister, like low key.
That's fair. That's a great point. That haircut don't do her no justice.
Nah, man. That's what I'm saying. They on some Eugene's son type stuff.
It's almost when if you guys notice this episode, last episode. She doesn't call him Tony. She always says Big Brother. It's almost like they make her say Big Brother to make sure everyone remembers. Like she's the youngest. Because he definitely doesn't look it like you said.
Yeah, bro. I was like, but if y'all go back to that season 2 when I'm about to say Janice popped up and see the original when they were sitting on the patio, Janice and Barb. Go look at that actress. You'll see what I mean. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a different. Yeah, but I ain't gonna harp too much on it like I did with the Blundetto point. We get a scene where Junior is being tested for, a possible investigation, and Junior fired. The only thing I took from this, Junior fired his old lawyer because of his paralyzed head from his stroke, and he didn't trust him. This is so petty, bro.
Junior would have did that crazy or not.
You right.
You right. Crazy or not, he would have did that.
Right. You're absolutely right. He would have did that.
That's
regardless.
how petty Junior is.
That is him. You're absolutely right. Like he literally told a nigga go back and kill this nigga because he made a joke about Tony and his mom. Crazy. Anything I want to add to that scene with Junior? Okay. We see Tony in the hospital. Real quick, it's obviously nighttime. We see Chris just staring at him. I do wonder what's going through Chris's head. Here's one thing I'll say. If y'all look at that, I don't know if y'all got to pull it up, but if you look at that scene with Chris has the shadow over one of his eyes, and his eye is, you got the light on the other side of his face. Right? Now, y'all think about a later scene where Tony has kind of a shadow over one side of his face, and there's light on the other side. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's very interesting. I'm not saying that Chris is thinking that, but it's really interesting when you look at that. I'm like, what is going through his mind? Because I'm not sensing full sadness. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That goes back to the point I said earlier about this isn't my man's laid up. I'm in the hospital 40 days, 40 nights. I'm here because I gotta be here.
Mm-hmm. I need witnesses to make sure they acknowledge that when he comes out of this.
I'm doing this for appearances, bro. Like I don't fuck with dude like that.
Fair. We go to Eugene's funeral, and pretty much, Chris says he takes the easy way out. Silvio steps up as the acting boss, and Vito is getting really bold, but he's making some good points. What did y'all think? Anything I want to add to this scene?
Time and place.
Fair enough.
But I also appreciate the fact that this shows what happens when you don't have anybody in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have to. Yes, I respect you, Sil, you in charge, but I ain't gotta really listen to you for real. Especially if remember, the thought is Tony's not gonna make it through this shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like nobody. Right. If this was just a standard operation, it's none of this going on. Like I'm gonna show a little bit more respect because Tony's still the boss. But Tony leaves out, man. Now we got a free for all.
What does Vito think? Vito been alluding that I could be the boss of this family. But why do you think he gonna jump over Silvio? Like at this point, that's the thing. I can't.
Politics. It's all politics.
Yeah, I think he he can get more people on his side than Silvio would be able to because he earned more. So I believe his pitch would be, we're gonna make more money if y'all back me as boss versus Silvio.
I like
and that's the reason that he even got the nuts that he got Pause.
Man,
Especially for
you,
me.
you, you,
That's
how
the
you know about
entendre.
you know about his nut spike?
that's the reason he even has the audacity
The
that he
balls on
has
this guy. Yeah.
right now is because he makes so much money. Like to even ask for that sports book after Seal said it was like, nigga, technically that should go to me, Eugene. Like, shut up, nigga.
He right though,
Smack.
and that's because that's crazy. Like he's right because Eugene was my guy. He was under me, and really it does go to me. But they know like, hey, yo, this nigga getting too much money. Like we gotta like he was already a good earner. I think he was probably a good earner even when Ralph was around. To be honest, like on the low, like he was on.
And it
If not, he was on
shows
the rise.
he has a lot of ambition. Like the little boss comments, he has a lot of ambition. And it also shows how he was able to rise so quickly, therefore making it make more sense that we see him more now in the world. Like you keep hearing him talk about wanting to be the boss and having these ambitions. That's going to get you to like, that's similar when you look at documentaries about John Gotti. Like that's what they say about him. Like he had so much ambition that he was a rock star in the mob, bro. That's why he rose so quickly because he had that type of ambition. So
yeah,
I think it speaks to why he's around much more now.
And that weight loss is that matters. Like when you see that first shot of him in the first episode, you see how far he pulls the pants out. Like, oh, that's a lot of weight, bro. Like that. That's the first.
It's proven that people don't trust fat people to be leaders. Like that's a scientific study. Like most CEOs, bosses of companies, whatever it may be, they're usually not overweight because people don't.
How far do we go? How far do we go in it? Like, are we? You can go as far as dad bod. Like, because I feel like how far
no, not
you can
that.
still
not,
be. We're
I
still
mean,
cool
overweight like Vito.
Oh, like Vito. Okay. Yeah. Like flat out. Okay. That's a good study. And even in this world, I think that works. Because even Tony, I mean, other than before this season, and maybe I don't know if that was in
Tony got a dad bod.
He do got a dad, but I mean, he's definitely bigger in this season. But I think him being tall makes a difference. Like as far as stretched out, he still kind of got like a menacing kind of idea. But yeah, that might have been a thought process maybe at the time. But like Tony gained weight, Vito lost weight. Like Vito's almost like the opposite of Tony in a way. Like so it's it's interesting. That might be a back about a back of the Being episode. Who would have been the best fit after Tony? Or is it obvious or is it worth the episode? Sidebar.
Cut off the head.
Make a case for a couple.
Make use for whatever's left.
Yeah, you can make a case for a couple people. It may be a conversation worth having.
Okay, I just want to see. That's just something I want to have on wax. So if when I listen back, I want to be able to like, okay, that might be our next back of Being at some point.
There's only one leader. There's only one leader of men outside of Tony. Everybody else I look like it's a poo put. I can't faithfully follow you if I think I can do the job better than you. I'm one of them people. Like, and there's only one person I look at where I'm like, man, I'm only going to respect you in this spot.
You think there's a person that could do it better than Tony at this point?
No. What I'm saying is if Tony was to pass, there's only one person that I could see myself, if I was part of this crew, that I can listen to orders from you. I can take direction from you. Everybody else, if I feel like I can do this job better than you, then what are we even talking about? I'm just going to disregard you. Now, that could be my own issue with authority and things like that, but I don't see anybody else. Like Vito telling me to do, man, get the fuck out my face. Like if my natural reaction is get the fuck out my face, and that tells me everything I need to know. I would never tell Sil just to get the fuck out my face. I got too much respect for him. Like I respect his cloth. I respect Tony's cloth. Like Chris, man, beat it, nigga, get the fuck out my face, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Yo, imagine if Feeks was around now. That nigga, and come on.
They're exactly the way I'm saying it. Feach thought he could do the job better than Tony because that's what happens. You disrupt things. Now you let the whole crew. Now you're trying to make the boss look crazy in front of the crew. Right? And now that's going to start giving thoughts like, damn, maybe this nigga ain't the boss like that. If he keep letting Feach run this shit on me, and what normally happens is, all right, then bet. We're going to put one of y'all niggas in charge so y'all know what it's like to be number one. And we'll see how long you last. And that's the thing. Feach can't be number one. Like, he's not that type of nigga.
It would have been interesting though. At least seeing him go for it.
Yeah, definitely would be interesting.
But yeah, like I said, Vito made some good points. Like he's like, Bobby, where was you at? Like I was like, straight up. Like, he's like, well, Tony volunteered. My wife can vouch for it. Like, nah, bro, you was sitting there playing on your damn train set with the hat and the overall. Like, come on, and the apron on, dog. Come on.
Oh no, that's a valid question though. I'm gonna cap for Bobby. I don't know if that's a valid question.
Hey, use your logic, man.
Nah, but you can't ask me why was the skipper even there, nigga? That's his uncle. What are you talking about? That's why he was there.
What is Bobby's job?
Bobby that ain't his job no more though.
What's his job now?
He's a part of the crew.
He ain't got no rackets.
He don't got no what?
He ain't got no racket.
Yeah, you do.
What is it?
He's been assigned jobs. I thought. I don't know. They ain't been.
I'm saying like I ain't seen him say.
I think, but Bobby got like a route because he's talked about having to go do his pickups when he was doing the train shit with Janice.
Okay.
To quote Sonny from Bronx Tale, I'd have come over there and give you a slap. Once again, Vito, who are you to be even questioning me? I don't like your tone. I don't like the location of where you asking me. None of that, bro. Like, who are you talking to? I'm not.
I'm a nigga I'm getting money. That's what Vito coming from. When you making money, like who are y'all broke boys talking to?
And I would have showed Vito this money ain't gonna
like you got to think bro. Before the reveal of
Vito right there.
Like, look, before the reveal, the big reveal of Vito and the Glizzy, like. Right now, I ain't got nothing on me. I'm getting money. You dudes is in shambles. Where your money at? Like right now, I'm talking that talk because you niggas ain't nowhere near where I'm at. I'm a real good earner. So I lost weight. Nigga, I'm looking good. I got my, I'm in my bag right now. What I
said? You know what I said? It sounds like you're trying to get robbed.
Facts. It ain't in you, it's on you.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to get robbed.
That's black. That's black. That's a black lingo right there.
Yeah, because you keep talking to me like that, bro. I ain't even bothering you. Like you picking this fight. I'm telling you right now, chill before all that shit be gone. He flipped upside down with your pockets loose, nigga,
and make you pay me points. Moving forward. Not only am I gonna take your money now, you gonna pay me every week now for talking to me like that.
I don't even like the fact that Bobby answered.
Right. And was explaining himself.
This made guys though. Like you can't put your hands on
him. Yeah, you suck. Yeah.
Can take you up on it.
That's why I stopped.
My dog.
Hey, but there's another clue in here. Y'all, we'll get to it.
Okay, give it to me. What is it? I missed it. I didn't catch
it's in the next scene.
Oh, the next scene.
Go to the next scene. Yeah.
So the behind the scene where you talking about the Paul.
I'm talking about Vito
Chris
doing the hot dog. It's another scene like that in here, but it's on the next scene.
Yeah.
When he said, I'm going back to the hospital after that.
Keep going.
Oh, I know what you're talking about when they get to the weight room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they just can. We can fast forward it up. Whatever. Like they having a little side conversation. So we get to the waiting room. Janice is with, Hesh is there. Obviously, Hesh look like he don't even want to be there. He's just saving face. I don't feel bad for you at all later. Janice is feeding the baby, and then Vito sitting right next to Janice never had like a real interaction other than when Ralph says, "Yo, she got nice tits," like when they were hooping or whatever, and he sits there and he's really like I can appreciate Vito's hustle. I could say that. Like this nigga confidence is through the roof because he's setting it up crazy. And it almost seems like he's trying to create this. Never mind. I ain't gonna even go there. But he comes out of nowhere and says, maybe he's homo. Felt there was nobody he could talk to about it.
Was this a confession? Because verses before that, he even said, I knew him better than anybody.
This was you talking about that Eugene was? Yeah, if Eugene was,
saying,
that'd been wild.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened? What that crew over there really is something else. If you got a Ralph, think about it.
Eugene
or Richie.
You're flexing.
Ew, I just made the whole connection.
Jesus Christ.
That would be crazy if that, but anyway, these are jokes. But Vito saying that, I think it was just a temperature gauge. I think he was just trying to gauge the temperature, like, yo, if I'm boss.
But why Janice though? Why Janice?
Janice is pretty open-minded.
Yeah,
we know she's open-minded. She was once Parvati.
Remember, Ralph told them, you know what this crazy bride wanted to do? She wanted to stick. Ralph told them that.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
I told her, get the fuck out of here.
Vito was trying to get pegged.
Yo. Legit. Yo, do you think he was trying to like, yo, maybe I'll leave my wife get Janice and I could kind of live a little bit like in, I never thought about it, but now that you say that, kind of.
Nah, if Janice is married, if Janice wasn't married, I absolutely would be on board.
Oh, forgot you're right. She's married. If she was single,
if she was if she was still single, if she was still that version of Janice, absolutely.
Too many steps. You're right.
It's like when when your boy tell you, hey man, you might want to check that. Oh, girl gave me some crazy neck. Like you just say, hey, let me sleep. Let's fly to her and see what's going on, man. What's going on with you? Ain't you friends with Nah, man? We don't even talk like that.
And Vito.
Well, you talk like that's crazy, and it work every time.
They hammered it. That's the line.
That is the line.
I mean, I know who he is, but
I know.
Like,
I'm about to say it. Say what's up to him a couple times.
Yeah, we went to school.
Whole time, wait till I tell this nigga about this.
Nigga getting his Martin from Thin Line on, nigga. Hey, who's the man? Who's the man in the midst of being in her place like this?
Okay, we the worst type of niggas.
We are.
Facts. This go to Vito being a creep too, because we can. We see Janice's face. We seen him eat the hot dog. We heard what Adriana said.
Mm-hmm.
As far as he's been calling me every day, asking me if I was okay and shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they really painting this picture of Vito, just like people's perception of him is he's a creep. And only a creep would say some shit like that to her like during this time. So
do you think that, because okay, so sidebar. So when you're trying to, y'all may not relate to it, but just if y'all do, maybe I do. When you're trying to assert yourself a certain way, but then it comes off a whole different way, that it's not the way that you're trying to assert yourself. So let's say Vito is trying to assert himself as like really masculine. Like maybe he's trying to come off as really masculine because he, obviously he's playing for the other team. So in his mind, maybe this is the play I need to do in order to be boss, maybe to accept my lifestyle. I got to assert myself a certain way. But while doing that, instead of you thinking that you're coming off more masculine, you're coming off real creepish. Like it's like the nigga that's trying to give sexy eyes to the chick. Like we made eye contact and she thought you were looking at her sexy, but she think you just staring.
Yeah.
He
in a way those vibes.
Yeah, like it's definitely that, like on some like you think. Yeah, I definitely think it's that for sure. Like if not, it's a reach, but whatever. Yeah, the waiting room was crazy. I guess that's all I got. I mean, AJ's outside smoking a cigarette and he's talking to the reporter. He's the dumbest nigga in this show. I can't fathom this level of stupidity. I'm sorry. I don't.
I can deal with dumb a little bit, but it's the nonchalantness added on top of being dumb. Is that I don't even care that I'm dumb. Like I have more patience with dumb people than I do with people who just like, oh, fuck it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like even how Carmella got to drag him in there. Mm-hmm. Shout out to that tracksuit Carmella got on too.
Yeah, it was all right. I ain't mad at it. It's like damn near the same colors they're here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know. Robert,
and you forgot the CDs.
And you forgot the CDs.
Don't even come back, bro.
Yeah, go home. Like go study. Like since you're saying you're doing that so much. Carmella, she pulls out the boombox, and only thing I want to say is, man, we thought these was gonna be around. I thought this was gonna be around forever. It's crazy how quickly that died. Yeah, like that was a junk. Like you legit had that in the room. Like, or not even that side. You might have had a whole system with the cassette, all that, the whole joint, everything, the CD, the whole,
They had a good 30-year run though.
What the boombox?
Yeah. Cause
Oh, you talking about like the
niggas was carrying
transitions
boom
from?
boxes in the 80s.
True.
People walking around with boom boxes in the 80s.
It's about 20 years.
From about 80 to
2000s.
okay, yeah,
Mid 2000s,
2000s.
about 25 years. Yeah, I say something like that. Fair enough. But it was legit. I like the boombox. She plays some music for him, and she goes into. Hold on. There is something that I wanted to say, but I don't know if it's this scene. No, it's not this scene yet. Okay. Chris pulls up to Satrial's with Johnny Sack's Maserati. I think
flexing.
So I think I hit y'all in the text. I said, isn't it ironic that Christopher, when Johnny Sack told him, it's like, I remember when you used to sit in the car, and as far as I know, you should still be there. And now I'm sitting in your car. Like, I don't know if that was intentional, but man, what a flex.
Yeah,
that's definitely like Drake trying to buy the third piece of the Rockefeller. It's definitely that. This is that type of petty. I feel like, I don't know, because it's like, Chris, you could probably go somewhere else and get a Mozzie, but like, no, I need your Mozzie. Like,
I think cheaper from you.
I was gonna say, I think it was
like
it was solely when you know a nigga gotta sell this shit, bro.
I was gonna say, in the criminal world, this could be them Italians, dope boys, whatever. When a nigga going to jail, you gonna get a good deal. I promise you. That he got the car with the 24s and the candy paint, and you know he just got indicted. Nigga, what you want for that car?
You're right.
Come on with it.
But man, the irony of it.
Trying to sell them shoes, them J's you got. I know you got a nice collection, bro.
Man, let me cop. What you got? What would throw me a deal?
And they'd be trying to sell it too. Coming up with the bonds or coming up with lawyer money. So he just got a good deal on it.
He did.
That's why Johnny Sacks, he knew what it was. When they told him in the jail, like Chris said he said he paid cash, he was like, fuck.
Yep.
I gotta take that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta take that.
And also why did we get a scene like this with Agent Harris and Chris?
They was planting that seed for later. Remember, this paid off later.
Terrorism
paid off because they even went. Ain't it another scene in this episode where he talking to them and they asked about them? Yeah, it paid off later.
Like later in the season.
Yeah.
Tony do something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought we were talking Chris.
Remember, we meet two characters in this episode.
Okay,
at the Bada Bing.
Fine. I just thought we were talking Chris. We just talking about the whole overall terrorism. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I was like, if it's Chris, if it was Chris, I was like, I know where I was gonna go with it, but I was like, yeah, I think that too. So that's the only reason. But
and it lets you know, Mo, that they didn't get a demotion, that they got promoted.
So it wasn't because of failure.
It wasn't because of failure. One thing I will say, side note, hey man, they make them Satriel sandwiches look good.
My goodness, bro. You get
I wanted to go fix me. Hey man, I wanted to go get me a sandwich, bro.
Dog, listen.
But it had to be one of them, a good one too.
Cause he said, man, I've been fiending for a veal parmesan. Man. Like, come on, bro. Subs are hard to like. When you want a good sub, it's hard to like. You can't really replace it. It's only one spot. Like when it's a good sub, it ain't like you got a few places.
What's your go-to?
My go-to at this very moment is I get a good sub from Publix. Publix Deli.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
Yeah, legit.
That's probably the best
for me.
Just a good sandwich. If you don't know, if you ever honey baked ham, really good sandwiches.
Slept on.
Really, yeah.
Honey baked ham, is that a place or what is that?
Yeah, Honey Baked Ham Company, like the people that sell the honey baked hams through the holidays.
Uh-huh.
They have storefronts and they sell sandwiches in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can get one of the honey baked ham sandwiches, the turkey sandwiches. Look it up if you see if it's one near you. I'm sure it is where you are. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, you want a really good sandwich. It ain't just subs either. They got the regular bread. Honey baked ham makes some good sandwiches.
Wow, man.
Honey mustard is fire.
Good earners mukbang coming. Good earners mukbang coming soon. What else can these guys create and get another racket going in this space? Y'all want to see us? Y'all want to see us have some subs? You want to see us eat some pasta? Hey, Patreon, hit us. All right, let's get us out of here, man. All right, so Carmela shares memories with Tony, and this the only thing I wanted to ask is, what did Carmela mean?
You know what she meant, Mo. You know what she meant, bro.
Nah,
Stop
please. Nah, please. Explain
What
to
part?
me. She says
it's Mo. You know what part he about to mention. It's Mo. I knew he was gonna mention this when I was watching it.
She said, "Well, you used to, you used to throw me over your shoulder. you used to. It still gets me hot down there." What do you mean? I'm trying to understand the mechanics. Walk me through. What do you mean? Throw me over your shoulder? I throw you over my shoulder, and it gets you hot down there. Ladies, our women listeners, please explain to me what she means, because
It's the same reason why women. It's the same reason why women like getting choked out during
Like
sex and shit, man. That shit,
but over the shoulder, like what is that? That's like on some like.
It was it's the dominance. It's the fact that like you like
right,
I can. It's something about like the submissiveness for women when they like, oh, I got a man that can do whatever. You know, you talk about women like pick me up and care. It's something about like that dominant, strong, a man's man. Obviously, I'm not saying that's a definition of a man, but something about them that gets, women they respond to that. Like,
they succumb to that. They succumb to those feelings.
They succumb to that.
All right. Thank you, brothers. I made that make sense for me.
Yeah, man.
I come a long way. It's funny when I think about that Marco Polo episode. My sister still be hitting me up about that. Like,
your sister funny, so I know she
what Rich was cracking up about. Remember when I was like, when they were in the pool or whatever, hey, how you was rolling. Like, what he trying to say is,
Mo, Barry, you've been married a long time. We've been outside a long time.
Right? Yeah, that's why. Hey, help me, help me.
You know exactly what Carmela was saying. She just trying to, speak to him. She really taking it seriously.
I dig it. I dig that. I thought it was adorable in a way, to be honest. And outside of
this is my favorite. It's my favorite scene of the episode.
It's just like the story that Tony tells when he says, "I remember when I seen you in the crowd and I was fighting it, and when I was fighting the guy, and I turned on you or whatever it may be."
Oh yeah, I love when they do this. I love it because that's what you be speaking to, Spike. When you say we don't need the flashback, we're locked into the words, the script. We're locked into
us. Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I meant to say earlier in that AJ scene when he was outside and the reporters, and we'll see more of the reporters here. I think it's a good reminder because you get lost in the world. You forget what the general public thinks about Tony Soprano. Like, you forget almost that he's a celebrity. Like, he's really a, not in the movie star type of way, but celebrity enough to where you got shot. We have news crews at your house 24/7 for updates. Like, this is big. People are gonna want to tune in about this.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good reminder that obviously I think it's a reminder for us as viewers. Just, hey, as much as y'all love these people, like, these are terrible human beings. He's a bad person. Like, he's being referred to as a mobster and murderer and everything else, like alleged murder and all that. So I just always think it's cool when they remind, because we act like we know the Sopranos. We in the world as viewers with them.
Of course.
Just forgot, like, oh, these are real people who really live in New Jersey, and people are scared of them in real life, not just the gangsters, but other people.
Yeah.
Civilians.
Yeah. And also, like you said, Edie Falco's body in this scene, but it's just a small glimpse into this is such an imperfect. I mean, imperfect is selling it short, obviously, but like it's just an imperfect family, imperfect marriage. But it's just the realization that it's like, you are my person. As dirty as you are, as dirty as I may be or may not be, you my person. Like, and the way she looks at him, no makeup on, and she's all in his face, and obviously he's in a coma, he's got sick breath, but she's just all in. Like, that's real love right there in that moment. So I just, it's really good. We go to our next scene. Like I said, it's the dream scene. I don't know if y'all cared about that as far as whatever. We skipping the dream scene. I don't care. We get Meadow and AJ. Meadow's at the hospital. She's visiting her dad. Meadow's visiting her dad. And then we go to the house, and this might be up there with the Harpo disrespect that Tony gave Janice. Vito is eating on Tony's couch. Bruh, did y'all notice this? Did y'all see this?
I don't think I paid
I
attention
didn't.
to
I
it.
don't even think I paid any
Bruh,
attention to it till you
y'all,
just
if
said
y'all
that.
got this joint pulled up, my nigga, you have got to see. I said, oh, he taking this way too serious, bruh.
Hold on.
Oh, okay, I
He's
see
sitting
it.
on Tony's couch
In the
doing
spot
what?
where Tony usually sit at and eat his ice cream.
Bruh,
So
I said, yo, you taking this whole boss thing way too far.
it's
Hold
an
on. You think he
interesting
did
take.
the?
He did that
Go
on
ahead,
purpose.
Spike.
I'm with Mo there. I
Okay.
think it's an
Dog,
interesting take too, because
dog.
not to spoil anything, but the way that they got him out of here is very interesting, being that
Mm-hmm,
how comfortable he is thinking that he's on the rise.
mm-hmm,
And the whole storyline for, what we see happens to Vito,
mm-hmm.
it's very interesting that that's the way that it went versus another way that it could have went.
Yeah. AJ's getting his plate and he's stacking it up, and then he gonna look at Meadow when he was minding her business. He gonna say, I took some Pepto Bismol. I really just wanna like pulverize this nigga. Like every time like he comes up,
Oh,
I just
Jesus.
okay. Pause.
Ew. Ew.
Pulverize. I didn't know it was that direct, but okay, pulverize. I didn't know that's where the mind went, but let me be more specific. Like just saying that, like, nigga, I'm not watching your plate, bro. Like, of course, we'll get to the next scene with it, but like, I took some Pepto Bismol. Like, you could see he's looking over at her. She's not even looking at him. He's stacking up the plate because this ties back to the earlier seasons of him when he was like a chubby fat kid or whatever. It's like, and
No, you
then
know what
Well,
this is,
you
right?
know what
You know
that
why he
said that,
did that?
right?
why?
He had been lying, saying that he was sick and didn't go to the shifts that he was supposed to go to for his dad. So him being
Mm-hmm.
sick, and then I'm going to the spread that we got here, probably from Satrial's with all the good shit, and I'm piling my plate up. It's like, bro, you know how it is after you get over a stomach flu or a stomach virus. It's a wrap. Like, I don't want to see nothing for 2, 3, 4 days before you back to normal and eating right. And it's the next day,
Mm-hmm.
and you dig it in like this, man. Come on,
And
bro.
heavy
You're
food,
a
not salads.
scumbag.
Like,
I get into it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we talked in previous episodes about how it is when you know you're guilty. Like, you got to play it a certain way. When you know you're guilty and everybody else don't, Meadow really wasn't looking. She gave him a sly look, but she wasn't gonna say nothing. But he felt guilty to the point where he said,
Mm-hmm.
I took some Pepto Bismol." Like, what? Nobody even asked you anything. Like, you telling them yourself now
Yeah,
because you know what this looks like.
exactly. Ah man. But then AJ eventually comes into Meadow's room, and Meadow looked like she was about to get a real good grief nap. Like a
Wait.
good, yeah, nigga.
You talked about Vito sitting on the couch. If you catch Paulie in the background looking at his fridge, it ain't nothing more disrespectful than a nigga like just in your fridge. I ain't
Bruh,
talking about like what you got to drink. I'm talking about Paulie is up and down. Look like he opened a
bro,
drawer and everything. And they're like, bro, why
Moving
you in
shit
my fridge
around.
like that, bro?
bro, man. I literally just watched the episode where they was watching the Tyson fight, and bro, man was in Martin's fridge, like all in. Like nigga was all in. Like you're like, you know how you stop, you know how you look at your own fridge, you just
Oh,
kind of looking at the shelves, you know what I mean? Just like taking your time. This nigga was
I
in,
wonder.
like you're in my fridge studying.
You
You
know what I
got
would
me.
love to hear?
Like,
I would love to hear from the people that listen, because as we've heard in the beginning with the emails and comments, this is a diverse group.
mhm.
I want to know, is it a black thing or is it a like everybody thing?
Like somebody
Like,
coming
because
over.
black people mind, to people
Oh,
that are listening that don't know, black people 100% mind if you come to their house and you go in their fridge and you like
absolutely.
all in there.
Yeah.
Unless they told you to grab something out of there or you putting something in there. Like, you don't go looking at people's refrigerators in black households. So I would wonder what my guy from the UK had to say. I
Yeah,
wonder
yeah,
what
yeah.
a lot of people that listen to this show say about that.
Yeah, y'all definitely reach out to us. Goodearnerpod@gmail.com. Or leave a comment here on YouTube. But yeah, AJ comes in and he's like waking Meadow up, talking about a Prius and saying that how I saw how
That's
you
what
looked at my plate.
that's what pissed me off so bad,
It's
bro.
just he's so he's just
Nigga, our
insufferable.
father is in the hospital. You come in my room talk about a Prius.
And then leaves, then comes back, and it's like this is embarrassing, and like he's just annoying. Like I'm sorry, never mind. I'm not going to even give him no more energy because I was going to go all the way
If I
full black.
ever meet
Leave
David
out.
Chase, I gotta. The first question I'm not asking him about the ending. I'm not asking about anything. I'm asking him, how do you not see the fact that AJ is hated? Like, what makes you think that?
This episode is the epitome of it. This is the reason that most people start hating him. And the leave out and comeback was disgusting.
You
If
said
I
it
was
was?
Meadow, I probably would. The leave out and come back, like you leave out and come, like bro, like stay the fuck out of my room, bro.
Right. You left in the middle of me talking, not you talking. You left in the middle of me, like you leave in the middle of me talking.
Don't come back.
No, nigga, like
Just
don't
stay
leave.
out.
Like dog, if you man, come on, bro. So yeah, and then he of course he flicks the well, he tells the reporters F you or whatever. And anyway, we go to the next scene. Carmela and Rosalie, they're sitting down, and and then AJ comes up and he's full of it, of course, lying, trying to make himself look good. I'm studying, which is what you've been getting on me to do anyway. And then
Don't
Rosalie,
forget the Angie Montecero hate either. Before you get to
Angie couldn't show
I
up.
guess she's too busy at the body shop. She still got time to hate.
Hating like a mug. That's why I love Angie.
And if I'm Angie, I ain't coming either. I ain't pulling up. Fuck
you know what he did to my car?
Man,
and he killed her
killed
husband.
my husband. I ain't coming to y'all.
Talking
shit.
about
y'all.
Stupid. And then so Rosalie, being a real one that she is, she says maybe maybe your son is like basically a selfish piece of shit. And then Carmela gets defensive about it.
And she's Rosalie with the best answer ever.
Oh man, the flip was crazy.
I wish I had done what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly a person that knows is the person that has failed and I'm telling you what not to do. So that would have flipped.
I ain't telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know.
No, didn't work, nigga.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy. Rosalie, man, she one of the best characters, bro. Like side characters.
That's a really good friend to have, man.
She really is, man. I really Rosalie. She's so solid. I got such love for Rosalie. I really do. I hate all of the events that have happened to her, that she's a part of the thing or whatever, but like still. And calling this nigga Fabio. Nigga, you ain't handsome like that, nigga. Get out of here. That's all I got for that scene. I ain't got nothing else.
Telling a nigga he ain't handsome like that is crazy.
Hey,
that is.
That's hilarious.
I'm comfortable.
I try to move right past.
No. Not even that. Not even on an uncomfortable level. Just the fact that that's even in your arsenal. Yeah, just like nigga, you ain't even handsome like that. Like what? I never forget.
I never forget your arsenal.
I'll never forget. I was front row at a Guy Tori comedy show, which is nuts in itself.
Guy Tori, okay.
Yeah, but I was, if you've ever been to like a Funny Bone or something like that, they got the tables right next to the thing, and I'm right there, of course. And he's telling one of his jokes about handsome people, and the nigga looked dead at me in my face like, nigga, you ain't no Denzel. And I'm like, damn, nigga, what I do?
Right.
I'm on a first date and shit and all that, bro. Like, damn,
I ain't think I was Denzel, nigga.
Like, you're a brave
nigga.
I'm never sitting with a date in the front row of a comedy show.
See, it was one of those situations where either do I want to tell the people like, nah, I want to sit here, or do we just let it rock?
Oh, okay, yeah, I would have let it rock, man.
I just let it rock, man. I should have heckled his ass back, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go, Mo.
That's true. A little insider from Big Rich Town, man. R&B Rich. I will write a script. I would write a script. I'm gonna write a character based on you one day.
Flyest nigga ever.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm gonna have to use that. I'm gonna use that line again somewhere in the series. You ain't even handsome like that, nigga.
That shit hilarious. That's hilarious.
It is because that is super random. Like, Paulie pulls up and he
adding it to your arsenal. Admittedly, after he said that is even more insane.
Because I know it's ignorant. Like that's how when he said it. He said the fact that you had that in your arsenal is like it's not in my arsenal, but now that you said it, I'm gonna use it again.
Oh jeez.
I live to make people uncomfortable.
That's funny.
Nah, seriously though, but yeah, Paulie pulls up at the house. The detectives pull up. They're asking Carmela questions. She's super solid. She ain't giving them nothing. But it's funny because you see Paulie. You ever notice Paulie looking around the corner trying to see what she say?
I seen Bobby right there.
Nah, you gotta see Paulie. Like as Carmela's talking, Paulie's got the stern face like a mug. Like he's looking straight up like she bet not say nothing. And then Meadows obviously over there on the other side on the phone or whatever. But Carmela, What?
Go ahead, Mo.
I was gonna say Carmella. She's super solid. She's been doing this for a while.
I was just gonna say, man, I love the comparison. The first thing I thought about was Adriana. We had the conversation in long-term parking about whether or not could we see any of the other wives or spouse or girlfriends be in this situation. We said absolutely not. And this is just a prime example of that. Like, this is how you handle this. I've been coached up. But to our point we made on that episode too, some of that falls on Chris as well.
Yep.
Like, it's your responsibility to tell her if you ever get in the jam. Like, I remember when Nas had a song when he talked about teaching his girl like how to watch to see if cars are following you and stuff. There's certain things that you're supposed to be teaching. If you live a certain life, like you need to be on the lookout for this stuff. Because if they get you, then they got me.
Yep.
So same thing with this. I just thought that was always fascinating.
Yeah, fair enough.
Did y'all get the Sam Giancana reference?
Yeah.
Y'all know who that is?
I know the reference. Go ahead.
He was the head of the Chicago mob, and it was said that his efforts helped to get Kennedy elected. And when Kennedy didn't repay, not from a monetary standpoint, but give him the things that they asked for in order to get elected, it said that they put the hit out on him. And he was part of
there's a strong alleged like on the mob situation.
And it was put together by Sam.
Man, that's crazy. I'm eventually gonna watch a couple of them docs.
The JFK shit is fascinating. I told you. I think I said this on here, man.
Yeah, you said that.
It was a whole week that our teacher took out when I was in the 7th grade. I've never forgotten it. It's been damn near 25 years ago. That like he took a whole week and was going over all the JFK shit. That shit was fascinating.
That might be something that could, like, the mob element of it could be possible back at the being. Who knows? I eventually I want to try to get this thing into a Patreon. Like that's the objective, y'all. So y'all just be prepared. After we giving y'all more than over 86 episodes, just be prepared to get behind that paywall. Anyways, so Tony, AJ goes to see Tony. Yeah, whatever. Carmella sees him talking to Tony.
Talking about bullshit.
Yeah, who cares? Like, we're at the Bada Bing. We see the two guys that I guess they're supposed to give terrorist vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Fucked up, but true.
What are you gonna do? I don't know.
We know how they get. We know how they get down on Sopranos.
Yeah, you guys wrote it. Whatever. We get AJ's there in the morning with his dad, and he said, "I'm going to get Uncle Junior for this." Nobody took him serious. Nobody believes him.
As they shouldn't.
Should they? They shouldn't.
As they shouldn't.
Yeah, nobody believes him. Bro, cut your freaking hair off. Anyways, he just makes his threats and stuff like, you're not Tony, you're not Johnny, you're not even Uncle June. You're a bum that works at Blockbuster. Anyway, him and Carmella get a little bit.
That's how you really feel.
Hey, I was about to say, shout out to everybody working at Blockbuster, but it ain't around no more.
You see
I felt like I needed to defend them.
Hey man. So anyway, yeah, like you said, Rick's last episode. We get into the last season, so whatever I need to say, I will say it now.
Say it now, man.
That's what I'm on. So anyway, they have a brief little disagreement, discussion, whatever. AJ, Carmella, whatever. And Carmella comes in to see Tony. And then we go back into his dream sequence, and he gets a phone call, puts the phone up. Then we see the blinking light again, and that's the end of the episode. Anything I want to add to those last few hospital scenes, or that's about it?
Not at all. Categories.
The best part about it was AJ finally showed the emotion. Like, they kind of tried to explain why he been acting like such a dick for the episode, but it's been such a staple throughout his character that it still didn't even register.
Yep.
Like, he's been acting like that. I don't know why David Chase thought that this would be the moment that we would think, oh, he does that. Man, fuck AJ. Nigga, I don't care about you crying and saying you're going to shoot Uncle Junior. Get out of my face, bro.
Straight up. I didn't get to mention this, but it's interesting how last episode was called Members Only, and then this one's called Join the Club. Just a little bar there. But without further ado, we like to leave here with the rankings. I think we're going trips here. Spike Lee.
Real quick too, before you do it, just what Rosalie was talking about.
Yeah.
Her telling AJ, "Oh, I'm so proud of you for what? For one shift?
That's
Niggas been busting their ass like for who knows how long. We don't even know how long the nigga been in the hospital.
it's
one time AJ go to visit him and she coddling.
It's for him not getting shot in the snow.
And then as soon as she say, I'm proud of you, oh, I flunked out of school.
Hold on, man. Hold on, Mo. Wow, bro. He just slid that.
But not get shot in this. Oh,
hey, you was Jackie Jr. Hey, you a silly nigga, bro. Hey.
I missed it. I heard it, but I didn't hear it.
I heard it too, and I just did. I just thought, oh man, both stupid. Mo, you good at that, man. You good at sliding them in and just keeping it moving.
Yeah,
that's essentially
that's my favorite way. That's my favorite.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not getting shot dead in the middle.
Right,
in the black drug dealers.
In the projects.
By the black drug dealers. Oh man, that's crazy.
Man, you funny, man.
Spike Lee, how do you rank this episode?
Just another envelope. There's no suspense to this.
Nah, no spoilers or nothing like that. Rich. Same. Just another envelope. Yeah, we said it before I could finish typing it.
I give the concept and what they were trying to do a good earner. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, just trying to take something that you know Tony's not dying. So how do I make this as interesting as possible? So I give him credit for the attempts. I know this is the episode when they had the staff party. They played this as the premiere, not members only. So obviously, I guess it was. Listen, whatever, man.
They played this at the staff party.
Like it was the episode like they showed for the premiere. They didn't show members only. They showed this.
Oh, they didn't want to get a big reveal on the joint. Like, well, how could they show this without? I guess
it wasn't like a premiere party. It was a So
like they didn't want to show who shot him more so. That's the bigger reveal for them. So they didn't show that.
Exactly.
Like he's in the hospital, but we don't know how he got there. So that's where they were preserving.
Yeah,
fair?
I forget. Fair. I'll look up. I will look up the other parts, but
that's fair. That still works because it's like, wait, Tony in the hospital. What happened? But then again, you do get the junior joint or whatever. But all right, who gets the good earner chain, Spike Lee?
The good earner for this episode, Carmella, holding it down.
Really
that's what you want by your side when you're going through something, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've given her a lot of shit on this podcast. Rightfully so too, but this episode right here, she earned her keep.
Damn. Rich,
same exact thing. I don't think there's anybody else to give it to.
I don't either.
Carmella. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, I gotta again trips. I'm going Carmella, like for everything Spike says. Like she's holding it down as much as they've had such a tumultuous relationship. She has truly held it down. So I'm definitely going Carmella.
So I guess the staff each season has a premiere party, like just as cast and crew, and this is what they showed at the premiere party, not members only. So,
okay, dope. Broken Balls Award. Who gets the Broken Balls from you, Spike?
AJ is the obvious answer. I'm gonna say Kevin Finnery. I lose all my shit. Fucking charge a room to my credit card. And he didn't come looking for it. He might be dead or something.
Oh, the real Kevin Finnery.
Come back. Yeah, he didn't even come back looking for it. So who knows what his fate was? I hear scamming people. So I thought that was interesting.
That is funny. Rich, who gets the Broken Balls Award?
I'm hesitant, man. My dog clowned me for last week's selection, so I'm like, damn, I need to put a little thought into this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna go the same route that I did last week. I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna say it's Eugene, because don't nobody care that you died. Because the boss, and I don't mean to. Damn, I'm hesitant to share this, but it's a real thing, so I'm gonna say it anyway, right? Because I don't want it to sound. I don't mean it in the way it's gonna sound, but I got to give it some context. My birthday is January 26th, right? You know how hard it is. You know how hard it was in 2020 to try to celebrate the day you were born, and then Kobe dies. that same exact day. Like, don't nobody give a fuck about your birthday no more, bro. It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
that's that, yeah.
Like, so I never, and I don't look at it like that because obviously I was just as sad with Kobe the passing, but from that personal selfish perspective, from that personal selfish perspective, you know, the text messages stopped, nigga. Like the call stopped that day. Like it ain't no way. Ain't nobody trying to tell you happy birthday, my nigga. Like Kobe just died. We fucked up out here. I was fucked up too. But it is one of those things where you start thinking like, damn, my day is now forever like associated with the passing of somebody famous. I always talk about how Felicity, what's her name?
Hoffman. Felicity Hoffman.
No, bad. No, what's her name? Fawcett. Felicity. No, damn. Why can't I think of her name? Cold in the back in the day. White woman. She was in Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett. She passed the same day as Michael Jackson. Like, and nobody will ever like. You know what I mean? So things like that happen, and I just think about Eugene in the situation. Like, damn, man. Like you. Ain't nobody here. We all meeting about what's going on while Tony laid up. We ain't even paying your body no mind.
I can relate to that. I deal with it like every 4 or 5 years because my birthday November the 26th, and every now and then it falls on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, the day your birthday too, ain't it?
Yeah,
nigga, shut up.
Yeah, my
that's
birthday.
Family doing that too.
Yeah,
like family. Oh yeah, we all
up
together eating. Oh yeah, the day is your birthday, huh?
Oh yeah, like don't hit me with the oh yeah.
And then all year for your birthday is disgusting.
Yeah, my birthday is like the anticipation, like always like, oh, my birthday coming up, and it's always like my birthday's the day after 420. So I always get the like, oh, people ain't even anticipating because they think about, oh yeah, bro, we about to smoke weed, we about to like I didn't know nothing about this till I was a senior in high school. I'm like, wait, what? And then you know the rest was history. But the broken
R.I.P. to everybody who died on that helicopter crash. I do want to make sure I say that. Like I said, I don't. Hopefully, y'all know me well enough to know I'm not walking around like, man, I'm sorry. Like, obviously, it's not that, but I don't want to use that as a light example of a Sopranos show. So I do want to make sure condolences out to everybody involved in that because that was very tragic.
Lives were lost, absolutely.
Like, lives were lost in real life,
for real.
Yeah.
My broken balls is AJ. Just you just a goofy. Like I don't got nothing else to say. You're goofy. Any quotes as a favorite for you, Spike?
Maybe he did it because he was homo and trying to hide it.
I forgot about that. Oh man, from Vito. Hold on.
Maybe. Yeah, that's mine from Vito.
Okay. What about you, Rich?
I ain't gonna hold you. I did not even think about a quote.
I mean, this episode take you out of it.
Yeah, I forgot to even think about one. I don't have one.
Okay. I'm trying.
This is one of those episodes you're so happy that it was over. I was so happy when I got done watching it.
Me too.
God, thank you.
You got
Jesus.
one more of these, and we like
now. Now I can almost get back to it.
Yeah, you like.
I do like the next one a little bit. I do like the next one better.
I like that one a little bit.
I like Mayhem better than this one.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say like some of the monks said, but you know what? I ain't going with no quote. I think Spike has the best quote of this episode. That that maybe he's homo, whatever. But and then lastly, what's your favorite moment of the episode, Spike Lou?
My favorite moment of the episode.
You said something about the what? Oh no, that was Rich who said that.
Okay. My favorite moment of this episode, Carmela, and at first when we get out of the dream sequence and she's at the hospital and she's looking distressed, you can tell she ain't slept in days. She breaks down in Chris's arms, still has time to be a mother. Asks AJ, has he eaten, even though he's been a little dickhead. That was my favorite moment of this episode, like just initially getting thrown into Carmela's world and how she handles this.
Okay. What say you, Rich?
The scene where Carmela was talking to Tony
with the music.
Yeah, with the music and just the conversation about throwing over the shoulder and all that. Not because of that, obviously, but just because, like, if I was Tony, if I was in that position, I would want a woman like Carmela there by my side every single second, just for that support. Like, that's real. That's selfless. That's a true form of love. And I just thought it was a perfect human moment between those two. We've seen them go through everything. You would have never thought during Whitecaps that Carmelo would show that kind of emotion for Tony again. So I just thought it was a real solid moment, and just a very human and genuine, sweet moment.
Mm-hmm. It really was. Moms would be Meadow checking AJ about not caring about the Prius and the environment. It's like, I don't give a shit. Like the way she said it, bro. It was so much emphasis on it. I'm like, oh man, like I felt her when she said it. Like, bro, I'm trying to sleep. Get out of my face, dude. And that is our episode, man. We found a way to make it through. Oh, goodness gracious. Whew. It ain't too many episodes like that this season. It's probably 3 more, I would guess.
Yeah, don't judge us.
Yeah, please
don't judge us off this episode. It was a lot of all over the place random conversations. We usually give you a lot better insight, but
maybe this would be more entertaining than the episode for them.
Frankly, there was nothing to be insightful about.
And it really was
because we don't break down dreams.
No, we don't. Y'all can go.
Not our bag.
Yeah, Talking Sopranos or In at the End podcast. If y'all care for the deep stuff, go over there. But this is our episode. Another week, boys. My goodness. Good Earners reviewing the Sopranos. If y'all want to reach out to us, y'all can hit us up. Obviously, leave a comment on YouTube, rate, subscribe, like, leave us 5-star rating on Apple, as well as Spotify takes comments now, so y'all can go check it out over there. I really need to put the video over there as well. Y'all can email us goodearnerpod@gmail.com, or y'all can hit us up on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos. For anything y'all just want to reach out, we will read it on air. We thank y'all for tuning in, and remember, don't forget about it.